You know what? I wanted to turn my mic down a little bit. How do I do that? I probably can't do that on stream. I'll have to remember that tomorrow. Oh, I could probably do it a little bit here. Alright, let me know how that sounds. If that is too light, but that should be good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I am NoLuxGiven, here to play some Eternal. Got 3 daily quests to do, so gotta knock one of these out if we want another one tomorrow. 100 damage with fire cards, play 40 fire or shadow cards in versus battle, and win 2 versus battles with a time deck. That one's going to be really easy to do. 100 damage with fire cards in versus battle. I'm not sure. Is that going to be easier or harder than serving Stone Scar? Let's get rid of this one, just because most of my decks I splash fire that I'm playing fire in, and gain 25 primal influence in versus battle. That one's going to be potentially the trickiest. You don't have to win with it. So for that reason, I did kind of make just a slow control deck a while ago. You know what? Should I hit? Maybe I should hit gold 3 first. Let's play one game, hit gold 3 really quick, and then I will try to just gain a bunch of primal influence. So let's use this real quick. I'm saying real quick a lot, but just want to bang it out. When I'm that close to a rank up, it doesn't make that much sense to play super silly decks. But yeah, let's rank up and then I will do my Questorino. Sand can kind of just dump everything out on the board. We'll see what my opponent's playing. Time. Alright, let's go for the seat. Playing the seat means that we can play both Grenadins on the next turn. Playing the banner means that if we draw a sigil, any sigil, we can play Temple Scribe on turn 2. But being able to just play all these Grenadins does seem somewhat reasonable, right? Could certainly backfire too, but alright, looks like a somewhat of a mirror match. Pretty much just going to lose our guys if we attack in here. We'll hit him for 2 though, so maybe that's good enough. Alright, and they choose not to block. We don't have any card to pump our team right now, so that's probably, like, they probably have one, which would be the reason that they would stay back. Can't really get punished for dumping our hand against a Praxis deck. Yeah, so now we could just straight up lose 2 guys to trade in 3 to 1 points of damage. That's definitely not worth it. Let's start with the Temple Scribes. Try to find something to play as a, whatchamacallit, a relic. There we go, that's the word. Go for a 4x attack. I'm going to say no blocks. We really don't have any good attacks back now, though, unfortunately. Really just need to draw a vault or a vault of our own soon. Did I say a vault or a vault? A vault. Yeah, I said vault or volt, as if that was 2 separate cards. We need to draw a vault or an obelisk. We need to draw a vault or a volt.
Safe travels, friend. Safe travels, friend.
Well, maybe if I just played my mono primal deck with a bunch of lightning storms, it would have fared a little bit better. At some point, we're blocking this 4-4 because next turn it's going to be a 5-5. And this shit ain't getting any better for us. Alright, let's block. Right. They can't have sand together because they're not playing green. Looks like they do potentially have a lightning bolt or something. Nope. Or maybe they do, but just decline to cast it. Alright, let's play assembly line. Because otherwise we're just going to die. One thing that we can do here is use Desert Marshal to silence Initiative the Sands. And that's going to let us make slightly better blocks here.
You can escape me.
Alright. But that only saves us for a turn right now. Now we need to draw... I mean, draw a Sandstorm Titan, it's just gonna die to something, right? Okay. Well, we can hold out, maybe draw some owls. But this certainly isn't how we want to start things off here. Triple block a Temple Scribe? Sure. Alright, this rally is going to be pretty mediocre. It just turned into 4 points of damage, but if all my opponent has is a bunch of rallies, they got to start using them at some point here. And a Seat of Impulse. Well, I'm going to die to another rally. Pretty sure my opponent's got it. Either rally, double lightning bolt. I could have tried to hold off for a second there. Alright, let's switch over to the Primal deck, considering now we probably have to win 2 more times with this time deck. I don't mind sinking a little bit in levels. We'll get it back later. The purpose of this deck list is to just play a whole bunch of Primal mana. And it's just control cards other than that.
A single shot is all it takes.
I think it can win, but it's not necessarily trying to. Vara's favor. Well, if they didn't Vara's favor that, they were going to Vara's favor this. So can't completely play around it. They've got the double Vara's favor, which turns out to be insane against our hand.
A single shot is all it takes.
Alright, there we go. Double Static Bolt. That's just what we needed. We're doing okay here again. We have a Permafrost for their next unit. We'll have to cycle a Levitate at some point here and just keep hitting our land drops. That's all we want to do. Cool. We missed out a little bit here. At some point they're going to ambush a creature against us. Alright, sweet Wisdom of the Elders. Scaly Gruon and a Primal Sigil, just what I want to see. Now we can cycle this Levitate. We're 2 away from Channel the Tempest. I think this mono Primal deck's going to get there. Sure. Just cycling, hitting our land drops. What a silly game. Another Permafrost and a Sky Snapper, sure. My opponent used another Vara's Favor, so maybe they're out of favors here. Hopefully. Wow! All 4 Vara's Favors. Alright, well, our next one will surely survive. No need to Permafrost some Grenadins. I'll trade a quick shot for a Scaly Gruon here. Suffocate for Scaly Gruon. That I will also accept. And I'll also accept just taking a few points of damage here. Lightning Strike? Probably not. No blocks. We'll wait to see if they pump it up. They're not going to. I don't really want to channel the Tempest either of these guys. Do I just go for their face and hit them for 7? That seems fine.
Unleash the storm.
4 damage, Static Bolt, some more Primal Sigils. Okie dokie. Now we just have to find a way to win the game and not die to these Grenadins. Now they go for all the rapid shots. Makes sense. Good play. Oh, and the Flame Blast. Alright, well, we played 8 Primal Sigils, and that's what's really important. 8 out of 25. Maybe it still would have made more sense to get to gold before playing with this deck, but at this point I'm all in. Let's just see how many Primal Sigils we can cast. Oni Ronin, sweet. Wanted to be able to Static Bolt something. I guess I could Lightning Strike that too. Yeah, I'll go for the Lightning Strike. Gives my opponent a War Cry, but I think this winds up being an okay deal. Maybe it's just bad. I should be Static Bolting the Oni Ronin so that I can Lightning Strike the Argenport Instigators. Well, there's a monster. I'm pretty sure my Aegis will go away after an Instigator trigger. After they Vara's Favor my, my 3-1 here. Sure. Quick shot? No, a trade. Alright, well I'll take that trade too. And I do lose my Aegis, but I was going to lose it one way or another. Alright, now we give away that we drew another Static Bolt here, unfortunately, but... And I'm not playing the Favor to re-equip an Aegis to ourselves. But we hit one more Sigil, we're halfway done our quest, right? So that's what's really important. And Violent Gust for an Impending Doom sounds good to me. Okie dokie. You can play some Violent Gusts against anybody because you've got Levitates in your deck. Polymorph seems solid. Let's go for a Polymorph this turn. Maybe Static Bolt plus Lightning Storm next turn if they play another Impending Doom. Umbran Reaper. Looks like just Lightning Storm will do it. We'll stay at a relatively healthy 17. And we still have Lightning Strike and Static Bolt for their next 2 creatures.
That's cute.
Decided not to ambush that in. Oh, because they went for the main phase power up here. Yeah, sure, let's Static Bolt this. Saving Permafrost for an Impending Doom seems like a pretty sweet play. Just give my opponent a creature that hits them for 1 every turn. Cool, we got the Primal Sigils. 3/3 Flying Aegis isn't that big of a deal, but it still survives Lightning Bolt. Or Torch. Caleb's favor, my face, down to 15. Oh, that's a pretty good one. These should be able to end the game in short order here.
Wield the flame.
Sure. Let's just permafrost. We don't have our opponent dead next turn necessarily. If we draw a static bolt, we do. Umber and Reaper. Okay, let's permafrost at it as well. Now my opponent should be dead, regardless of what they do here. That's a pretty sweet play. I appreciate that.
A single shot.
Puts him back up to 9. Oh, I definitely should have played another Primal Sigil before winning that game. Whoops. Had my eye on the prize a little bit too much, forgot about what we were actually here to do, which is lay down some Primal Sigils. My bad. But yeah, gonna do daily quests for a little bit, and then I will do a draft later on here. Let's redraw this. It has an Eileen that we're just never going to cast. Wisdom of the Elders is one of the better cards we can mulligan for. This deck can definitely be a lot better. I threw it together in a few seconds and a while ago. Alright, Slumbering Stone. I think we're just going to wind up playing Wisdom here. Nothing else really we got to do. Likely against some type of Stone Scar deck, but I guess that is a little bit just color screwed in some capacity. Let's try to find a 3/1 was what I was looking for. If we can just hit our land drops, our late game is pretty sweet. Alright, that's a reasonable polymorph target. We'd rather polymorph that. Yeah, don't... I mean, I could permafrost it too. It's not like I use the graveyard at all. But yeah, let's just polymorph. Alrighty. Just biding our time. Interesting matchup here. Mono Shadow versus Mono Primal. Which that's definitely what my opponent is at this point. Have to imagine. To be playing 6 Shadow Sigils and draw just them. Though at the same time they haven't done anything else. But they haven't even like devoured or anything like that. I don't know. Hey, I'm happy to sit here for 60 more turns. There's a Devour. I'm happy to sit here for 60 more turns as we just both play primals. That'll get my quest done. I need to play 10 this game, right? I think we're going to get there. Do I want to Violent Gust that? I think I just do. I don't think we're going to get many more Violent Gust targets other than that. That's not true. They could have, especially if they're Mono Shadow, they could certainly have... I don't think they're Mono Shadow, though. I think they got some more shit going on over there. That's definitely going to get Vara's favored. Slumbering Stone, Stray into Shadow. Okay. So everything dies, they draw a card and get back their 2/2 flyers. We draw a Static Bolt. Bolt sound good? Sounds good to me. I lost my Aegis somewhere in there. I guess they... Yeah, they didn't play Avara's favor. I don't know how I lost my Aegis, but regardless, we'll play this dude. They could also just be sitting on a lot of removal spells, which is kind of tricky when trying to figure out how to use Eileen. Hopefully this gets some of the removal spells out of my opponent's hand, though. Ooh, Vara. Well, Vara's going to get double lightning struck, but other than that, a little bit tough to deal with. That's the one I probably could have saved Polymorph for. Let's lead with Wisdom. Just try to hit our Sigil drops. Eye of Winter, also pretty sweet. Don't want to play it now because I need Vara to attack. So let's just attack and get ready to double lightning strike Vara. They might just have multiple Varas in their hand too, which could also definitely suck. I'm pretty sure my opponent just got free value if they returned a Slumbering Stone there. They would get to return... I think they would get to fill their board with 2/2s. They should return Slumbering Stone. It would die, create a 2/2. They return Slumbering Stone once the 2/2 comes into play. And I'm pretty sure they can loop that forever. You play a Primal Spell. The tricky part is we don't have a Primal Spell. We just have Primal... relics and curses. So I think for now I'm just going to go like this. Again, I only have to play one more Sigil till I reach my sub-goal. Did I do that the right way? Yes, okay. I permafrosted this, and I stunned this with the Eye of Winter. Alright. They're going to Vara's favor their own Reaper. I guess that's a pretty common play. It's less exciting now that we've seen it happen in back-to-back games with us here. Let's smash, exhaust a removal spell, sweet, and then play an actual monster. Nice Vara, taste our Eileen. Okay, Death Strike. That's the third Death Strike, though. They're not going to have a fourth one, right? Well, it doesn't really matter because we played our 10th Primal Sigil, so hopefully that's just good enough, and we can kind of combo off here next turn. Alright, Vara. We got a good one, returning Vara. And they're going to go for Umbran Reaper. Again, I'm pretty sure they could have filled their board with 2/2s if they wanted to. Yeah, this is like pretty impossible to beat, I think. If they block, I think that's okay for us. Let's just stun this. We're going to take 11, go down to 6. Oh no, we're going to take 13, go down to 4. Alright, we need to make some magic happen, but even if we don't, we've still completed our quest, so not a huge deal. What do they got for us? The Witching Hour. Play 4 Pale Riders, return 8 creatures from their graveyard to play. Fill the board with gargoyles. Alright, so we're going to need to... not sure what the thought process behind that is. Oh, Umbran Reaper's lethal. That's what the thought process is. Okay, makes sense. They were just showing off the Witching Hour, but that's 25 Primal Influence. We could have actually stabilized on that board with an Eileen in play. There's some silly things that you can do, but I was just trying to gain some Primal Influence, and that is good enough for me. So our other quests here are play 40 Fire or Shadow cards and win 2 versus battles with a time deck. Let's try to win 2 games with our Owls deck here, and then I think I'm going to do some draft action. Talir's favored, double vault. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Our opponent's on the play, which is obviously always a little bit unlucky, but that means that we've got more chances to draw into the 4th sigil. Once we draw into the 4th sigil, we can play Sandstorm Titan, then we can just, and that should stop our opponent for a little bit, and then we can play some vaults and some Grenadin drones to kind of draw us out of that. Would love to draw that sigil here on turn 2, but if we draw it any time in the next few turns, it's not the worst. Reason I'd love to draw it now, okay, well, it didn't happen. Yeah, let's just hang on to Grenadin Drone at this point. We're probably not going to play these Vaults for a little bit, considering our opponent's deck. Looks like we're playing against a Felon Infiltrate deck. So it's going to be at least somewhat aggressive. Sandstorm Titan's really strong, but their deck is going to be at least somewhat aggressive, so that does mean that we will want to eschew playing the Vaults for as long as we can. Alright, that's not a sigil just yet.
Focus, child.
But a sigil or a banner next turn will let us start dumping our hand on the board. Deck only needs to hit 4 lands, which is why it's somewhat land light. And it runs 6 guys that help you draw into more lands, and 4 Temple Scribes, which potentially help you draw into more lands. There's a weird finning thing with Talir's favored and Acolyte and Eternal. Because the way that the algorithm works is they just take a random sigil from your deck, and that sigil could be from the top or the bottom. If they happen to take one from the top, then, well, that kind of means you're actually thinning your deck when you might not necessarily be wanting to do that. Starting to think my opponent's a control deck even now. Well, just end the turn. It's not like they can Lightning Storm, really. So I don't know why, but I don't think playing Assembly Line really does anything for us here. Okay.
That's cute.
Well, playing Assembly Line would have forced them to ultimate that, but I think they might already want to. Now I'm feeling like I should have played it, though. Yeah, I definitely should have played it. Don't really want to take 4 damage. What do I do? I guess I'll take 4 damage.
You look lost.
Alright, well. So throw good money after bad. Play an Assembly Line here. If they backlashed that, that would have been insane. How much does this card cost? 4 mana? No, 3 mana. With 2 Shadow Influence. Gotcha. This is a pretty easy block for me. Trade a rapid shot for 2 Grenadins. I'll take it. Now I also have 4 mana, so we can start throwing out the Disciples, the Sandstorm Titans, whatever we need to do here. Eventually we'll play Volt Grenadin Drone, but that time is not now. I'm a little bit hesitant to run out the Sandy T immediately. I think what we do is make a 2/2 flyer, and I think that's going to be just difficult enough in the Thorn of the Side of our opponent here that it's going to bait out a Annihilate. No, okay, no Annihilate for us yet. Well, then my opponent doesn't have any great attacks. Attacking all outs. That seems horrible. I would trade here, and eat Whispering Wind, taking 2, going down to 14, and then next turn I just get to play a Sandstorm Titan, and I'm just rapidly ahead of the board. I'd love to play Sandstorm Titan with Stand Together backup. I think if I can manage to do that somehow, then I really can't lose the game. So if we can just stop our opponent from attacking for a little bit, like if my opponent's plan here is to ambush this is the attack that I like. Just attacking with Raptor. Because you actually get the same result in at the end of the day. So just attacking with Raptor, I'll just say no blocks on. It's just 2 damage. We can afford to hemorrhage 2 damage here. Impending Doom, that one's a little bit awkward. Now I kind of want to run out Sandstorm Titan. Well, you know what? They didn't have a kill spell last turn. Let's hope that they don't have a kill spell for one more turn here. And if they don't, then we are kind of killing it. We'll untap with Stand Together, and then at that point, top decked Annihilate. Or they were just hanging on to Annihilate and had a lot of patience there. So I think I do have to just take 7 here. This card is actually just drawing cards for my opponent at this point, and drawing removal spells at that. They discarded a 4/4 flyer to go and get a relevant spell. And what is this, a quick shot? Rapid shot, yep. Oh, rapid shot for the damage push. And another rapid shot, makes sense. That's going to hit me for 15 down to -1. Maybe they didn't top deck the Annihilate. Maybe they just had it. Yeah, maybe they had it because they would have top decked. They could have drawn the both quick shots that turn off the top of the deck and the Whispering Wind. What time is it here? 3 o'clock. If I want to fit in 2 drafts, I guess I should start soon. All right, let's jump into draft. Just changing the name of the stream title here, but let's jump into it. 5,000 smackaroonies, and what do we got? A Shogun Scepter? It's an interesting card. I don't know if I've ever drafted this. You know what? I'm sure I have, but it's just not, like, that crazy impressive that I probably don't remember it. Cobalt Monument, pretty insane. A 5-mana 4/4 flyer. It's a regular air elemental from Magic the Gathering, for those familiar with that. What else do we have here? Serpent Trainer, Scorpion Wasp, Bright Mace Paladin. I think I'm going to take Cobalt Monument. It doesn't always work out for me. I think I wind up better in Combray. And there's a lot of Combray cards in this pack that would be pretty good, but we'll take a Cobalt Monument. Play a unit from the Void. Aegis Creature. Well, it looks like all of our cards are Elysian here. And Borderlands Waykeeper. is probably the best of them. I mean, compare this to like Scaled Gruon, especially compared to old Scaled Gruon, and that's kind of a joke. But a 2-mana 1/3 Aegis, and then you can make it a 2/3 flying with Aegis. So I think that that is pretty good. I don't know what that'll mean for the direction of our deck as we move forward here, but, well, Explorer Emeritus kind of sends me in one particular direction, doesn't it? It means that we're playing an Elysian deck, and if we just get a little bit of early game, like this Borderlands Waykeeper, then we wind up in a pretty good space with Explorer Emeritus. Alright, this pack has nothing for us. I'm not going to take a Herald Song. I think I'm just going to take Direfang's Spider and potentially keep like Feln open as an option, but I don't like any of these other cards. Magma Javelin is fine, but we're just less likely to splash red than we are black, so I'll take the black card here. Sky Snapper is fine over Back Alley Bouncer. I do like Centaur Raid Leader. That's a sweet card. Granite Acolyte is good. The green flyers are good as well, but Sky Snapper's fine and probably in our colors. And then I guess I will pick up some daggers. Don't really want a Sauropod Wrangler, but I guess it's a 2-drop. I guess we'll play it because we might just need to play a creature on turn 2. Cabal Recruiter's pretty sweet, and is pretty sweet in the Feln deck. Stone Scar, pretty unlikely to play that. I'll take a Jotun Warrior. I don't think I have any intentions of playing it. Second Sight's not a bad one to pick up at the end. Alright. Enlightened Student. That's like the only card in the pack even. Northwind Herald is just like super mediocre. Yeah, it's just a really mediocre card. Twinning Ritual's good. I just feel like we're so out of Enlightened Stranger. I could just take Amber Acolyte. Though if I'm going to take Amber Acolyte, I should just take Twinning Ritual. Alright, let's take Twinning Ritual. Just hope to get a few more Echo cards here and there. Dispel is fine. Torch is really good. But, like I said, I don't really think I want to play red. Initiate's fine, though Storblinks is a pretty sweet one. Good anti-aggro card and sometimes a combat trick. Pillar of Amar will definitely get us there. That can be our late game. We don't really need to have anything else then. Cards like Execute would be good to potentially throw in the deck as a splash for, but Pillar of Amar seems like a great reason to be an Elysian. I don't mind Initiate in Elysian. The Pathfinder is also kind of sweet, and we do have Twinning Ritual plus Second Sight already, but I'm just going to take Mana Fixing, hope that that helps us more, and hope that we pick up some Echo card throughout the draft, which I think we will. Decay is actually kind of interesting. I don't think I want Dormant Sentinel, especially with how much other big stuff I have. I'm almost more likely to play Back Alley Bouncer. Sure, let's take that. That might be great. Flame Blast I have enough of for constructed purposes. Find the Way might be okay. It's not great with Second Sight, but it could facilitate a splash for us quite easily, so that could be good. Dune Phantom is a fine blocker. Don't want Excavate. Initiative of the Sands is fine. Cloud of Ash I only own 2 of, but I don't think I'm ever going to play more than 2. Maybe in like tournaments and stuff in the sideboard, but not for ranked ladder in my deck. I'll just take well, I think signaling like doesn't matter at this point. I think signaling only really matters for pack 1. Is how the algorithm works. Channel the Tempest. Well, this deck is certainly already big enough, but how can you turn down a monster that is Channel the Tempest? I think I'm going to have to take that here, because how can I not? I think I'm a little bit less likely to play black right now. At least those cards aren't super exciting. A splash could be reasonable. A splash for, like, Magma Javelin, not Flame Blast, unfortunately. But we could see a splash off of Find the Way if we do decide to play that. But Channel the Tempest is sweet. That just means we have to find some more early game Primal and Time cards. Lightning Strike probably fits that bill. Though Animated Argenport Ringmaster, kinda cool. Friendly Wisp will only trigger off Pillar of Amar, so that's kind of win more. Sure, let's take a Lightning Strike. And that's a pretty good one, I think, too, Lightning Strike. Stormlink's also solid. Soaring Stranger, is that what we want? Would we rather take, like, our first Violent Gust? I mean, it's a 4-mana 3/3 flyer, so its stats are reasonably costed. I don't have any cards that cost 4 right now if I don't play black. I think I'd rather have the first Violent Gust, though. Infiltrate, play a spell from the void for free. Flying Aegis. There's also these unstable forms, which are just kind of funny, but I don't think are really that great. I'm really not too sure on them, though. They could be okay. Let's try out this guy. There's a chance that that will work. Eastwind Herald seems good. There's also a Camel, but I think Eastwind Herald's just a lot better at blocking. This kind of just like has an Oni Ronin jump into it and just has to take it. Whereas this has the same toughness, but I think will actually gain you more life because of the fact that it can kill creatures off. Cobalt Acolyte seems fine. We don't have that much to work for it, but we do have, it can just touch itself or a Stormlink's. Yeah, there's not really much, but you can always pick something up for it too, like Towering Tarazan works pretty well with Cobalt Acolyte, so that seems good. Don't want an Icebreaker. Don't really want a Felon Stranger. I'm not going to splash any of these cards. I guess I'll take a Felon Stranger here. And then I guess I'll take a Felon Banner. So we've got the opportunity to splash Felon fairly easily. We could also splash Justice. Just not going to play Tinker Apprentice. Alright, I'll continue to pick up some Strangers. I'll take Tower Top Patrol over a mediocre splash. What do we have here? General, your other units have +2 attack. Don't think that's worth taking. Here the people can get Flying. It can get Reckless, which is actually pretty bad. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I've never given Hero of the People Reckless before, but that's a funny one. Praxis Displacer seems great, though, and is already more safely in our colors, so I'll take that. Copper Conduit is quite fantastic at every stage of the game. Aegis Mentor's cool, too, but actually not as fantastic in this color combination as it is in Combre. Copper Conduit is fantastic, though. Direwood Rampager is fine. None of these other cards are good. I'm just going to take another Dune Phantom. Karmic Guardian. Well, what if we splashed for that? We would just play the Cobra Stranger and the Find the Way. At that point, I'd almost rather just splash Mask. Let's take a Levitate. Levitate will be good now that we have a Copper Conduit that we can get in there in the air. And we do also have that Violent Gust. Levitate also just cycles to draw a card. I don't think we're going to play either of these splashes. We need something a little bit better still than that. Yeti Troublemaker. Our first real echo for the deck. Rebel Illuminator might actually be the best splash, to be honest. We splash Rebel Illuminator and Magma Javelin. That also fills up our 4-drop slot a little bit. I don't really want Violent Gust. I'm going to take it. I'm not totally convinced that we'll play it, but I'm also not totally convinced that we won't. Here I'm just going to rare draft, and then I guess it will take another Magma Javelin. Awakened Student. What? What? How are Awakened Student and Oni Ronin the last two cards in this pack? Well, I don't think I can splash an Awakened Student at this point. I also don't think I need a third Magma Javelin. And I'm not going to splash Oni Ronin. So I'll rare draft. Let's take a Camel. Let's take a Civic Peacekeeper. And a Centaur Outrider. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the deck. Let's cut the red to start off with, because I don't think we're going to need it. And the green, of course. That we're obviously going to cut. Let's cut the Stranger. And what are we looking at now? Well, we can also cut the Feln Banner, and we are currently looking at an 18-land deck, but I want to cut a little bit more here because I don't want to play the Camel. I don't actually mind Sauropod Wrangler now that I think about it. Even just with Pillar of Amar, it's probably a fine card. Even just with Pillar of Amar. I actually think that that might be true. And it's a 2-2, right? Let's see if there's anything we missed. We don't have to play Find the Way, but we do need to find the way into our Pillar of Amar at some point. We are also playing, I forgot to look up, we are also playing a Cobalt Monument in the deck. So that means that the deck is already 18.5 lands. That's pretty solid. Yeah, we're not going to play the 3-5. I don't think we need to play the Camel. We've got a lot of card draw already. Yeah, this deck is looking pretty sweet. It's 18.5 lands. An Initiate, a Find the Way, a Sauropod Wrangler. If anything, it's a little bit light on playables, but we definitely don't have to cut more. 9-9 split. That leaves us a little bit higher in the favor of Primal, which is good, because we have the quadruple Primal of Channel the Tempest, which could still be a little bit difficult to cast. There's a chance we just want a Stranger in this deck, but with 2 Stormlinks, I think we're going to be okay. And those Stormlinks can turn into Borderlands Waykeepers if we need to Cobalt Acolyte them. So I'm feeling pretty okay about this deck. I'm feeling pretty good, though. I think we drafted something that can get us to the Greek, so to speak. Sand looks fantastic. We've got Find the Way to help us get a little bit more primal influence requirements. We've got Borderlands Waykeeper. We can also second sight these Find the Ways. Our opponent's got a pretty aggressive start against us. Turn 1, 1 mana, 3/3. As long as they don't have an Awakened Student right now, I think we'll be okay. Alright, this will have to get Lightning Struck or something. Yeah, because otherwise I don't have a way to deal with it. Alright. Do I want to try to Lightning Strike it? Or do I want to develop onto the board? Let's get on the board for now. My opponent has an Echo. That's probably Sauropods, or it could be a Find the Way for themselves. Either way, with this landfall creature here, they're getting in some damage. Alright, Silverwing. That's pretty solid that we've got a blocker for that, though. They'll probably try to pump it up in some regard. Not much more I can do about that. I guess if they do pump it up, I can break the Aegis with Cobalt Acolyte and then Lightning Strike it to finish it off. Should I preemptively Cobalt Acolyte? I don't think I should do that. I think I should go for a Lightning Strike here. But we also get to see, because if they just attack with this now, yeah. Go for a Lightning Strike. Cool, and my opponent also does not have any other fast spells, as we can tell by how quickly that just happened.
Seek the waystone.
If we play Cobalt Acolyte now, we can do a triple block on Horn Verlunk.
Out of my way.
At which point my opponent is trading Horn Verlunk for one of my dudes. I think I'm going to hang on to Second Sight. I think my other Echo cards are better than Find the Way. So let's just Find the Way, get another Primal Sigil, play a non-depleted one, and have Cobalt Acolyte give flying to itself. So the plan here is a triple block on the Verlunk. We're going to trade Verlunk for Borderlands Waykeeper if they decide to make this attack. They might also just play a land. Alright, well, they're going to pump up the Verlunk so that I can't make that block. That's all they really have to do. But they didn't hit a land, which is good and bad. But the fact that I didn't hit a land means they can't attack with this. I'm going to have to say no block, so I'm not going to chump block an Overwhelm creature.
The price of
Alright, Valkyria Spirit we can find a way to deal with later. I think we need to use this Second Sight. Well, that's pretty decent, eh? I'm just curious what happens when you put a depleted Sigil back on top of your deck. And outside of that, let's dagger up our Waykeeper. Scorpion Wasp a little bit annoying. We can trade it off for Emerald Acolyte, though. Or Cobalt Acolyte, sorry. And a Gemblade on the 4/4, finally. We see that in action. Alright, no blocks this turn. But when we ultimate Borderlands Waykeeper... Alright, we do get this back depleted. So now this is ultimated, so now this can't attack again. But it will be able to attack once my opponent puts... Because they've got another Ornamental Daggers. So I think we're going to see... Oh no, we are going to see daggers here. Can you fight through an Aegis? I think you can. You can indeed. Alright. Now my opponent can pretty much just all-out attack. And we're boned. Let's chump block. Not much more we're going to be able to do here. This game is pretty much over. Another equipment. Alright. Well, we can chump block if they just attack with those things. As much as it pains my opponent, yeah, they probably should attack with everything. I will black here, chump block here, take 7, drop down to 1. Means they shouldn't have put the Crownwatch Longsword on what was already their biggest creature, but no matter. We lose. Yeah, if they just put the Crownwatch Longsword on the Valkyria Spirit, then they would have won that turn, but... Or they could put it on their Overwhelm creature, I suppose, too. Alrighty, this hand seems fine. We've got daggers for the Sky Snapper, Sauropod Wrangler just as a 2-drop. So this hand's actually somewhat aggressive, and then we get to play Explorer Emeritus on turn 5 to kind of restock our hand a little bit. Up against Baleful Strix. Best of luck, Baleful Strix. Sweet name. Not sure if I've ever... Oh no, I have played with Baleful Strix before. Not in Eternal, but I mean I've played... I've cast that card in Magic the Gathering games. Is what I mean to say. Alright, so next turn we get to dagger up, smack for 5. Assuming my opponent doesn't have anything that will prevent that attack. Clearly no blocks here. Chromebury Stranger. Well, I get to keep attacking with Sauropod Wrangler if I put a dagger on it, but I only get to attack one more time this turn. I kind of like keeping Sauropod Wrangler back. Let's just go for this. Do I want to play Dune Phantom? Kind of, actually. Yeah. I want to play Dune Phantom because I want to play Explorer Emeritus next turn if I can get it. Also, holding on to a dagger means that if we draw Second Sight, we're in a sweet position. Alchemy Blast on the Drake. Okay, I was going to say, blasting this, I don't know where they're going with that one. Yeah, there's a Second Sight. Alright. So let's just put the Echo card back on top of our deck, even though it's the only card we'd be able to cast this turn. Next turn we get to play Pillar. Turn after that we get to play Explorer Emeritus. And my opponent's Combray. I don't know which of these cards I'd rather have. Oh, but I'd much rather play the Pillar first. I can't really afford to play Explorer Emeritus first now. It just dies to weapon. Oh, I lost my guy. Well, that's kind of shitty. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could dagger up the Dune Phantom here. I don't think it's a huge deal. Like, I block, they smack it with their weapon, I'm still only taking 1. But if I weapon it up, then it's going to be tough for them to do much of anything. They're going to need like a giant growth and then still exhaust their weapon. Alright. I think there's a chance that this play is decently safe. Oh, I could have even attacked with it because it doesn't have like defender or anything. That was dumb. I should have attacked with it and just cleared their weapon. Yeah, that was really bad.
Easy, big guy.
Well, now I can't. Now I have to trade it off. Oh no, they are going to give it to me here. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Let's draw a card.
The dragon's eye.
Well, okay. Either way, we're playing that land here then, right? My opponent is probably going to draw some cards here. We know what they're... Oh no, that was last game that my opponent had an Echo card. This game my opponent doesn't have an Echo. They're going to hit us for 6, down to a pretty comfortable, I would still say, 17. And with that Time Sigil, now we're looking pretty healthy. My opponent's nowhere near activating this. Let's draw a card first to start things off. Primal Sigil sounds good. Let's go Pillar, Primal Sigil, pass turn. Yeah, it was pretty dumb to not attack into Mithril Mace. I just forgot. I was thinking that this card had Defender. There's a card in Magic the Gathering that I think is like the same thing as this, but it's obviously a wall because that's what things are in this game. Alright, another Sauropod. So my opponent could play a Pillar of Amarr this next turn. I'll be able to channel the Tempest, a Pillar of Amarr, if my opponent plays one next turn. So that's not that horrible. What happens if I swing? I trade it for like... yeah, I mean, this guy's a decent blocker. None of their other cards are really that great of blockers, though. Kind of actually just want to kill off Friendly Wisp so they don't draw a bunch more cards. That said, I think I'm just going to start clocking them with 5/5s. Whatever they trade for this, I think we'll be okay with. And this is not a fast spell. This is just a spell. Wait, did I not exhaust this yet? Oh, wow. I totally forgot about that part of the plan. That means I probably could just play Praxis Displacer here, because next turn I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'll be able to channel the Tempest and kill. Really, like, I'm thinking they're going to play Pillar of Amarr next turn, and then draw 2 cards and play a land drop. So if we just do this, That keeps them off of it, but we could also just bounce their flyer. I'll go for this. I think this card also lines up pretty well against their board, too. Alright, that's just going to make him explode. Yeah, we're drawing a whole bunch of cards and playing a free 5/5 every turn. That's about as much as this deck can combo off, or pop off at least. See some new people joining the stream, so if you just missed that game, here's a look at our deck. Copper Conduit, Initiate, Levitate, Ornamental Daggers, Waykeeper, Herald, Find the Way, and Lightning Strike, Sauropod Wrangler, Second Sight, Double Storm Links, Twinning Ritual, which doesn't really have that much to combo with, Violent Gust, Cobalt Acolyte, Double Dune Phantom, Sky Snapper, Displacer, Tower Patrol, Yeti Troublemaker as like our best Echo card, awkwardly, Explorer Emeritus at the top of the curve, pretty powerful, West Wing Herald, not sure if it's any good, but hey, if we ever hit Channel the Tempest, that's pretty freaking sweet, and a Pillar of Amar. West Wind Herald, like, I've never actually played this card before, but maybe we could just be playing Jotun Warrior in this deck. The deck is... Oh, and then we also have a Cobalt Monument, which is pretty good. This card just seems really tough to get in there with. However, we've got Praxis Displacer, we've got Violent Gust, and we've got Ornamental Daggers. So there are some ways to get it through. It's not impossible. And we could also Channel the Tempest, get it through, and then rebuy the Channel the Tempest. So that's obviously the Nutter Butters there too. 1-1 so far. We had a game where it was about average, and then we had a game where we just really popped off and our opponent didn't do anything. This is a redraw, 1 Sigil hands, no bueno. Double Sigil, can't really cast anything, but there's a few ways that this hand comes together. Storm Links is a pretty good anti-aggro card, and even if we just draw another time mana, it's like the worst thing that we can draw. But it will still let us play a Dune Phantom. Alright, well that's a pretty good one. That means that next turn we're going to be able to play a depleted Primal Sigil and hold open Storm Links. Unfortunately, this is not a fast spell, so we might just have to run that out there. Find the Way also pretty good at setting up the triple blue, or quadruple blue, cost requirement of Channel the Tempest, because otherwise that can be a little tricky. Primal mana from our opponent. I think they shipped their hand. Alright, so we've got a Felon deck here. Sauropod Wrangler, that seems good enough to me. We can still have a Secret Storm Links jump out of nowhere. No problem. Alright, Nightblade. That looks like a good creature for me to poop on. Let's play our Time Sigil first. Attack. And then I think we'll play Find the Way post-combat. This doesn't look as suspicious like we're holding open Lightning Strike, but this creature does just need to get Lightning Striked eventually. I could just Storm Links here. What am I going to play next turn? Next turn I'm going to play Herald. No blocks.
You look lost.
Can't hold on to it forever. Eventually they're going to figure it out. Of course they don't block there. This makes them waste a removal spell on Eastwind Herald, and I don't mind Lightning Striking this. I can also just Dune Phantom this, and then take to the skies again. Ouch. Alright, if they just attack with this, let's Lightning Strike it this time around. Champion of Cunning. Alright, well, they're not super close to activating it in any way, but it's still a really threatening card. We can threaten, like, a triple block on it or something like that, which I guess is reasonable. We can also just take 5 for a turn. The tricky part is my Infiltrate isn't really going to get me anything great, but I guess Find the Way might be okay. A few more mana for when we eventually do draw our Bomb Diggity could be good. Let's see, we're not going to triple block because that would mean letting the Ranger through, so let's get in there for 1. Next turn we've got Cobalt Acolyte plus Dune Phantom. Or we could potentially play Find the Ways. We're going to get the Echo off of it, I believe. Oh no, it says play a spell from the Void for free. Alright, well, we're not going to get to attack here anyway, so never mind. Probably do want to play this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, unfortunately, we're kind of just doing nothing here. Alright. Really would just like to get an Explorer Emeritus, or any one of our 3 big cards we'd like to get soon. Explorer, Channel. Channel's insane, because if we channel, we can smack this, like I was just describing, and then recast that channel for free and kill this. So drawing land and then drawing Channel would be maybe the 2 best draws we could get. Or, I guess, this turn drawing Explorer Emeritus, next turn having Channel after hitting at least 1 land off the Explorer. Alright, that's what I'm asking for. Explorer Emeritus, Sigil into Dagger's Channel. Might as well make it the most insane thing that I can ask for, right? Throw an Echo card in the mix as well. I guess my opponent's got some options, or they fell asleep as we were taking too much time on our turn. That looks like the rope's gonna pop. Let's just start my turn here. I'm not gonna risk it. I don't think my opponent is actually not there. But I am going to see how many turns of this game we can skip through. Copper Conduit's pretty sweet. Alright, let's play a 7/7, give it flying next turn. Yeah, at this point something's definitely happened. We've got a disconnect or something like that. Well, that's a shame. But I'm not going to sit around forever. The game has already been compromised at this point. I'm not sure if that was my opponent legitimately exploding, or like if you've skipped 3 turns, the game just explodes. I've actually never encountered I've obviously never encouraged it either, but I've never encountered a disconnect in Eternal so far. That's my first one, so I'm not sure entirely how the disconnect mechanics work. But that seemed pretty similar there to Hearthstone. Looked like they disconnected. The game just roped for them for a few turns, and then when it was clear they were no longer going to be able to establish a connection, then it booted them. This hand looks great. This Cobalt Monument's going to be a 4/4 because Find the Way is going to let us get some depleted Primal Sigils. Did my opponent have 2 Echo cards there, though? That's a little bit scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure. I never know how the math works out. But turn 1, Initiate. Turn 2, Find the Way. Play a depleted Primal Sigil. We could also just go turn 2, Eastwind Herald.
I'll find my way.
Turn 2, Eastwind Herald isn't looking that bad. Oh, I guess we needed to draw a Primal Sigil to be able to cast it even. Also just play Dune Phantom soon. Yeah, I mean, I think we can get out of this without taking any damage. Let's just use Dune Phantom here, though, because it's better mana efficiency. Then next turn we can go Find the Way, Eastwind Herald. Just mana efficiency. This also potentially baits us into letting us get in for one here. If my opponent doesn't have a turn 3 play. And looks like they do not. I don't know. There's not that many turn 3 plays in... Okay, well, we're in for a long one then. Buckle up, buckaroos. Let's go Find the Way, get a Primal Sigil. We already have double... I guess we need triple time as well. Okay. Let's grab an Eastwind Herald here, though. Or play an Eastwind Herald here. Next turn, if I draw... maybe I should have just played this. That was a mistake. I should have played the Primal Sigil that turn because I could have played Cobalt Monument. Well, I guess I am not super punished. This is free. It wouldn't normally be free. It normally would mean that they could attack back for the same amount back to us, but because we've got Cobalt Monument here, or Storm Dancer now, as she likes to be called. So yeah, we do know my opponent at least had the one Echo, so this could be it. I'm never paying enough attention to see how many cards my opponent echoes. Oh, I guess I could rewind. Isn't this like a rewind button for when you're not paying attention? I think that's what this game uses instead of a log. Alright, Lightning Strike ain't too shabby. Don't want to attack into a double block here, though, really. Let's just hit our land drops. We are going to need another time mana, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Let's just play a Time Sigil Depleted. Next turn we'll play a Primal Sigil Depleted. I don't want this to get, like, polymorphed or something like that. Alrighty, we're all done. Alright, another Echo card for my opponent. As long as they're not Thunderstrike Dragons, I think we should be okay. Like, I think we can beat an onslaught of hatchlings here. What I don't think I can beat is an onslaught of Thunderstrike Dragons. That card's really good. Though I do have, like, Levitate to take care of one. I Levitate, and then I double block with a 5/5 and a 1/3. They trade with the 5/5. And then I can trade another one for Lightning Strike plus Storm Dancer. Sauropod Wrangler and a Hatchling. Alrighty. Everything else, stay back on defense. Keep doing your job. It's definitely going to be a long one. Our opponent's at 35, but we drew the best card in our deck. All we have to hope is that they don't have either a Silence or a Polymorph for it. Outside of Silence and Polymorph, I think we're pretty okay. There's also no combat tricks that we really have to worry about in Elysian other than, say, Lightning Strike. Alright, so they did have 3 hatchlings, but now they're pretty much out. I kind of want to cycle Levitate. I think we're just going to hit anyways. We did. Cool. Alright. Army of 2/1 flyers meet my army of 5/5s. And that means we don't have to worry about Thunderstrike Dragons. My opponent's sitting on Hatchling plus 2 randoms. Oh, they have it. Shit. Okay. Well, we can still give it flying at some point, but they did have the Dispel. Was slightly worried about it, but it looks like our monsters might already be bigger than our opponent's battlefield here. So I think we are somewhat safe to start attacking in Second Sight, eh? Let's hang on to Second Sight. I don't think we are in a super rush here. Let's smack our opponent with 2 5/5s, and that's all we got. We also, it's important to note, currently do not have the influence to cast Channel the Tempest. It was deliberate. We went for the time mana, and then the last mana that we drew was just randomly a... that one. Alright, so they're going to, looks like, perform a triple block on Pillar of Amar. So Pillar's going to trade with Bold Adventurer and Sauropod Wrangler. Or Bold Adventurer and Hatchling. I guess I will just trade with the Hatchling. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's about the same either way. My opponent still has one more Hatchling in their hand, correct? Yes. And 29 life points. We've got a lot to smack through here. And really only this 5/5 to do it. We also have Explorer Emeritus and Channel the Tempest for a huge fireball lethal. Oh, shit. Alright, well. Lightning Strike can still potentially make some weird things happen here. If I attack with this now, I'm trading off for likely Sauropod Wrangler and one Hatchling. My opponent still has a Hatchling in hand that they didn't cast. Right? Oh, no, they played a Second Sight. Oh, okay, so my opponent's out of Hatchlings at this point. Second Sight only gives you one additional Hatchling, because you have to put one on top. Still doesn't change this guy from attacking. I don't have any teleports or anything like that in the deck. I'm going to hang on to Time Sigil, I think, because it'll let us play a big Fireball Channel the Tempest. Sure. Oh, it's going to be impossible to channel the Tempest out at Camel. Oh, am I just going to deck myself? Alright, that might make my opponent think that they have some good attacks now. Which obviously they don't, because we get to levitate to get back in there. Let's levitate this guy. Praxis Displacer, also pretty good. For right now, we can just do this, and let's Lightning Strike one of them as well. Second Sight can potentially draw us a few more cards so that Channel's good. And a 4/4 flyer. That's a little bit awkward. $25 cards and still no Channel. Kind of want to just return this Soaring Stranger to their hand. And then attack for a little bit of damage here. Yeah, that's likely the best play. Alright, we get in for 9. Makes Channel the Tempest a little bit more close to being lethal, but we still need to get this Camel the fuck out of here. I actually don't think I can race this Camel. What else is in my deck? I've got daggers in my deck? Oh, I've got Copper Conduit. Okay. That's the plan. We're going to make a big Copper Conduit then. So I should start playing my lands? My opponent's hitting me for 3 every turn now. And soon to be 6 once they replay the Stranger. Yeah, that's not great too. Okay, we kind of need to find something also. Let's play Stormlinks. Dune Phantom actually is something. It means we're back down to taking 3 a turn. If we attack with this, we can potentially trade it for the Stranger. It's pretty much the same attacks as last turn. My opponent has slightly better blocks, but it still allows us to trade a 5/5 for a 4/4, which could be pretty fantastic. Stormlinks now means that they can double block this. Okay. Punished. But we hit for 5. And now I think we're safe to continually be hitting for 5 every turn while they hit us for 3. That means we're only really hitting them for 4 when you factor in the Camel. But these Dune Phantoms can do some work. We can chump block Oops. We can chump block eventually with this Eastwind Herald.
I see them.
Tower Top Patrol. 2/6 flyer. Alrighty.
My treasure. The
Let's start drawing cards! Primal Sigil. Alright, we'll play it. That turns Channel the Tempest online. I'm going to hold off on second sight for the time being. Can't attack, it just bounces off Tower Top Patrol. I'm going to be taking 5 damage a turn here while my opponent gains 1 life each turn. That means I'm dead in 4 turns on the current board state. Once my opponent attacks with Tower Top Patrol, though, I can start attacking with my 5/5 again. Cobalt Acolyte to give the Lord flying itself. No. They're going to play it a little bit safer and not play into a Lightning Strike. Block. Block. Oh, wait. This is free. So, Tower Top Patrol actually is blanked, and we're only taking 6. 6 is still a lot of damage. But considering my opponent's attacking me with 5 creatures and I'm taking 6 life, making a 3/3 flyer, of course they are. Alrighty. Borderlands Waykeeper is not that bad. Let's draw a card here to start things off. See what we can draw. Yeti Troublemaker. Well, that's what we've been asking for the second sight. The trick is Borderlands Waykeeper. I guess it is going to trade with a Hatchling. We could also double block it to use it to trade with a Sauropod Wrangler. No, I'm just going to have to trade it off with a Hatchling here. Alright, so this is a fine draw. Let's play this and activate it. 2/3. We've got 4 mana left. Alright, let's play a Yeti. Taking a lot of damage here again. 6 points of damage every turn. Block, block. Oops. Block and block. Yeah, 6 points of damage every turn still. It means we are dead next turn. We pretty much have to draw Channel the Tempest just to clear a flyer. I don't love that. We also only have 19 cards left in the deck. Can we draw out Sky Snapper? Oh, that might just stop all attacks for a turn. Okay. I am going to second sight here now that we have the Yeti Troublemaker. So at the very least, we've got a reasonable card to put back on top. Here's the awkward part with the Sky Snapper. And why I don't just want to Twinning Ritual my Sky Snapper. So if I Twinning Ritual the Sky Snapper, my opponent just says no attacks. And they eat it. I also can't play both halves of it, right? No, I can. So I could play both halves of Sky Snapper if I wanted to. What happens if I attack with this? This is a free attack. We do need to keep putting in damage.
Easy, big guy.
And putting in damage means that Channel could be actually relevant. If we can put them down to like 12... I think this is going to stop their attacks for a turn. Oh, it's not. They're going to give it to me. Oh, sick. Come on, please. Come on, please. Alright, sick. So, trade here. Block. 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 I'm dead next turn. I'm going to take 3. They could just have a Static Bolt or something, too. Do we have anything else, though? Like, was this just the wrong line? Did I need to just Twinning Ritual? Let's draw a card. Oh, well, that's no good. I definitely can't win if we do that. Yeah, so my plan was like to all-out attack here. They would have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. They would take 7. And then I would Twinning Ritual the Yetis. Draw 3 cards on top of that. Hit them for 9. So I think we could have done it, right? If they trade, or like they eat this, trade with this, Trade with this. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they would have taken 8 and then 9. I think I had them. Plus, I would have attacked with this. Let's see how they would have blocked. Oh, they also have the camel to block. So if I attacked with this, it would have been 1 more point of damage. Yeah, we would have put them down to 8. I would have played Channel the Tempest, hit them for 9. And we could have even put them down to 7. Good game. Super close. Did not quite get there. Yep, I've got 3 blockers for 4 lethal attackers. Bam, bam, bam. So close. All we needed to do is draw that Channel the Tempest. It's still in there. It's one of those 15 cards. That was a close one. Good game, Cardafel. Good game. See what else I even had. Oh, I had Violent Gust, too. I still had not drawn Violent Gust. And I also didn't have Cobalt Acolyte yet? Wow, okay. Copper Conduit would have been good to draw earlier. I had a lot of live draws. Oh, I had Tower Top Patrol and Eastwind Herald for a trade with the 3-2. I actually had so many live draws in the deck. Unfortunate. But we are 2-2, and we will soldier on here. Always stinks to lose a long one like that, but it was still a pretty sweet game. That's a lot better. There is some argument for keeping a hand that is like it's got enough cards to slow your opponent down. Like, that didn't really have anything. It just had an Eastwind Herald. But it still probably would have slowed my opponents down enough. Well, that's great. Turn 4, Tower Top. Turn 5, Explorer Emeritus. And my opponent's just playing sigils over there.
I see them.
I assume Explorer Emeritus will get static bolted, but still draw himself a card. After my opponent Wisdoms here. Alright, an Elysian showdown matchup once again. Elysian is just so sweet.
Seek the Waystones.
Borderlands Waykeeper, that is acceptable. And what do we have? Daggers on it. Okay. And they're going to take out my dude. Sure. Don't love it, but it is better than them taking out my Explorer Emeritus, so I will take it.
The dragons are
See what we draw. I'm going to smack for 1. My opponent's life total is lower than ours. And I'm not going to have too many instances to smack for 1. They do race us here, but I think it's fine. Does that work? Oh, it does. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So what do I have to do? I've got to, like, lightning strike this or something? Yeah, I'm not going to just catch it out with Cobalt Acolyte. Now there's no point in attacking, obviously. I could echo my Find the Way. Is that good enough? I don't think it is. I don't think I want to echo Find the Way here. I think I just want to cast Find the Way, play Primal Sigil off of it, and pass the turn. Be cool if I could somehow Cobalt Acolyte to give this flying, and then ambush it in to eat the Ice Sprite, but unfortunately that's not possible. Wowie zowie, Zen and Obelisk, super powerful. Let's throw out a Stormlynx and start the turn. I don't have too much time here, but I still have a little bit of time. So I'm going to play that time mana. I could Cobalt Acolyte this. I don't think that that's great. Really want my opponent to start attacking with this, and I want me to draw a Lightning Strike. It's kind of what I need to happen. I'll take a Violent Gust. Alrighty, nothing too crazy here. Do I want to start playing my sigils? I'm not sure. I think I will, because I am going to cast Second Sight next turn regardless here, I think. So, want to get ourselves back into the game. Unstable form on Emeritus. Makes sense. Can't really stop it. I'm going to get a Terrazon. Holy moly! Well, they're going to unstable form it again. Come on. Give me a Pillar of Amar. Give me a pillar. Entomb the enemy player's life becomes 7. Interesting. Yeah, using unstable form as removal, I don't think I've ever seen that work just yet, but good effort by my opponent. I'm going to give it flying. Alright. I guess it doesn't matter if I give it flying. They're going to... Actually, giving it flying is just good, because then I've got a 7/7 flyer, right? I think with a 7/7 flyer, I can just hold. Alright, let's get a 7/7 flyer. What happens if my opponent attacks here? I eat the 5/5, I bounce off a 4/3, and I take 9, go down to 9, but I've gotten good board presence. I think we're okay. Second Sight for the Diggeroony, but they already used their hatchlings last turn. No Echo, so that's good. Our Yetis can't really attack here, though, so that's not great. Man, if this didn't have Echo, that would have been sweet if I just got a that 4/4 Empower guy. That card's fantastic. I'll take a 7/7 flyer, though. And I think next turn I am going to have to... Wowie. Okay. So nobody's flying. I think that favors me. Units can't fly. How does units can't fly interact with Violent Gust? No clue. Let's play a 2/2 Aegis. And I'm going to play a Primal Sigil as well. Alright. There's another Echo for my opponent. Wait, is that another... No, they don't have any Echo cards. Right? They didn't second sight earlier in the game, did they? No. No, they top-decked the Titan last turn. Well... Alright, I'm a little bit confused. Daggers. Are they going for a huge Sandstorm Titan attack? Well, I can make their life total 7. But is that even good? Thing is, if I block with this, this, and this, that's a pretty good block. I trade my 7/7 for their Sandstorm Titan. Or they can leave me with the 7/7. But right, yeah, with only 9 attack is a pretty good block. So my opponent either has to kill my 7/7 flyer. Alright, their life total becomes 7. And then they don't get to kill either of my other creatures here. Because they've already dealt 7 damage, so they get to deal 2 more to that and that. Alright, so they're at 7. Which I don't think is super helpful. But it means that we can potentially win off a counterattack if my opponent all-out attacks at some point. Alright, well I can eat that. Oh no, I can't. That's a 5/3. Twinning Ritual. Alright, we gotta find something. Let's go for it. Borderlands Waykeeper. Sure, it's gonna have to be enough.
Seek the way stones.
And I know I'm drawing a Sigil next turn. I'm going to have enough to activate both of these ultimates anyways. Alrighty. Another Echo card. Some more daggers for my opponent. All we need to do is survive an attack and then deliver a counterattack. I don't think that's incredibly difficult. However, my opponent is attacking for 18 here. If they block one of my creatures, my biggest creature, problem is if they have hatchlings. I think they will, or at the very least they're going to grow this. Well, this block is free. If I'd like to, I can trade these two guys off. I think I'm just going to take it and drop down to 4. We'll see what my opponent plays. Maybe I can counterattack for lethal because their life total is 7. Maybe they just forgot their life total 7. No, they've got hatchlings. And they're 4/3s. Well, I didn't really have much better attacks. My opponent blocks my 3 biggest creatures. It's this, and this. They'll take 5, drop down to 2. I just didn't draw that well out of it. Let's see, what can we do here? Every single one of my opponent's creatures is lethal. I can't block every single one of them. Let's just say space. Hope that my opponent does not realize that they're only at 7 life points. I think they're gonna. I think they realized it. Oh, we put them down to 1 here. But we don't have a Static Bolt or anything. And there's no point for my opponent to play around Static Bolt because going down to 1 is the same thing as going down to 2. Good game, my friend. That's all she wrote. We got nothing. Drew a lot of cards that game to have a whole lot of nothing, but that's the nature of the beast sometimes. And that'll make us 2-3 as we finish out this draft. Not super great. It'll give us 1,000 gold, which will put us at 4,600 just about. So if I play a little bit more ranked, I think I can fit in another draft here. Oh, I didn't mean to open up this pack. Normally I save them, but oh well. I guess I tilted. Let's see. What quest do we have? Just to play fire or shadow cards in versus battle. We'll complete that eventually as we play this Praxis Owls deck. But I'm going to switch back to ranked for a little bit here. Let's see. I will probably not draft again today. Just looking at the schedule of things. Probably just going to finish off with some ranked. Sand's fine, though. It's got double Temple Scribe, so it really can't be that bad. Double Temple Scribe can put in a lot of work. And double green Maybe an Oathbook deck? Not sure. Ooh, Eager Owlet. That's a pretty cool one.
It's written right here.
It's written right here. Not quite. Another Temple Scribe will still let us dig for a little bit, but we definitely need to hit our land drop, so if we play a Temple Scribe and hit a land next turn, we'll still be in decent shape. Okay, well, we already hit a land. Still play it out. Obviously, we can attack with this for free. Is my opponent just playing mono green flyers? I assume this is still a Huru deck. Gilded Glaive. That's a good one. You know what? I think it's time to find out how Sandstorm Titan interacts with Eager Owlet. I think it interacts favorably for us. Let's smack. My opponent can definitely have Vanquish in their deck, so this isn't just a hard block here. Alright, and this does remain a 3-3. I was curious about that. And no Vanquish? No, they've got it. Okay. That was maybe a little bit too much to ask.
Defend the throne!
Crown Watch Paladin. So we're going to take at least 6 from our opponent next turn. What I'd love to do is make a 2/2 flyer and then try to pump it up next turn. So I'm going to try to do that.
Which would you like?
Trading this guy in for a Warcry trigger. And we're going to take the damage here. Next turn, if they landfall, we're going to have to chump block, which is the awkward part.
Don't drop your tools.
Well, maybe now I just can't win at all. Yeah, I block here. Yeah, I just can't win at all. What could I do? I could draw another Sandstorm Titan, but I can't draw the land to cast
It's
it.
written right here.
Yeah, so I can do like this, but that doesn't get us anywhere. I block here, and I still take lethal. No dice. Not quite. I guess these are both depleted unless you have a sigil, so doesn't really matter which one we play first. But Sin's got all the lands. Yeah, nothing I really could have done that last game. Alright, Credit Drone is good against the Oni Ronins, though. I could have...
A single shot is all it takes.
So I could have set up the play of Marison's Disciple plus a +1/+1 earlier, so that they would have had to... Oh, but they can't vanquish the Disciple. Yeah, so they were just going to vanquish the Sandstorm Titan regardless.
Focus, child.
Don't have double red yet, but otherwise, this hand is pretty much panned out. Well, that just looks like a whole bunch of Argentport Instigator triggers. I guess I'm going to take a lot of triggers too. Alright, let's just hit our land drop and play Grenadin Drone. We'll worry about drawing more cards later. And Combray Healer's good, but just hitting our land drops I think is the most important thing here. We can also block so that we take 0 combat damage this next turn. Which is probably okay. We'll take 4 damage from our creatures dying, which is a little bit unfortunate, but... But what am I doing? My opponent keeps mousing over this card. Looks like they're ready to play a quick draw here. Nope, Torch on the Acolyte. That's fine. Torch actually means that I'm not super punished. Because we got a Torch out of their hand. I would love to play Combray Healer. I guess Assembly Line's good too, isn't it? Combray Healer also isn't bad. I gain 3 life and then can just bounce block off Instigator. Might be better. Could also just play a 4/4. It's the most mana efficient. Sure, sold. My opponent still has a quick spell in their hand, so... Maybe they were just holding on to the quick draw. Maybe that's the reason. They either have, quick draw still in their hand. I mean, this deck just does play a lot of fast spells with 4 quick draws and 4 torches. But they're going to go for Bandit Queen, which means I'm going to take a little bit of damage. But I guess I get value on board. Not really. I'm taking so much damage here. This is 8. This is 8. That would put me down to 1. Pretty much have to chump block here. Take 8. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 6 and 6. It would put me down to 5. Really want to play Desert Marshal plus Combray Healer next turn. If I'm at 5, I go back up to 8. Silence this. Block it with the Owl. Is it worth being at 9? I would actually only be at 8, which would put me to 11. Alright. This is good enough. Pretty much need to hit a land here, though, off Combray, for the turn. Okay, I don't hate that.
It's written right here.
And now my plan is to silence the Desert Marshal, trade Marshal for Bandit Queen, block a Grenadin Drone. Well, the thing is, they definitely have something. Because when I played my Vault of the Owls, the Great Parliament, forgot what it's called. When I played Great Parliament, my opponent paused for the chance to respond for a while. So they definitely have something, but the thing is, I can't really play around it. Like, I can't just not block with the Owl ever. Maybe I can silence the quick draw after it happens. Maybe that's how you play around it. If we go here, I'll silence this guy after he quick draws it and attempt to trade off both of these things. My opponent will think it's lethal with the quick draw. And then I'll silence it. It means that I'm taking 3. Oh. Well, I guess that's just what happens. They just quick draw the other. I guess I didn't play around. I guess I didn't play around quick draw that well, did I? Yeah. Whoopsie. Yeah, it would have been lethal with Rapid Shot or Torch. That was a pretty bad play. I definitely didn't play around Quick Shot super well, did I? This hand seems solid. It's a little slow, And I forget if we're on the play or the draw, but Assembly Line plus Zen and Obelisk is pretty good at getting you out of some awkward situations. You can draw Grenadin Drone next turn, or we can draw a Sigil within the next 2 turns. Sure. Oh, I actually should have kept on to a banner. Friendly Wisp, not super annoying.
Focus, child.
Our curve is weird here, though, now. Now I think we're going to play Marison's Disciple first. Could also go for the Silence here, as my opponent is pretty likely to just be playing a whatever the 5/5 Overwhelm is, the Phantasmal guy. But it's still a good play into that. Okay, Stormlinks. That's not what I was expecting. The thing is, we can always just save this for Dawnwalkers, and I think that that'll be good too. So we don't, like, we're not super pressured into playing out our cards here.
Focus, child.
We can just take it slow. How much if I attack? He could Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike plus Stormlings. I'm okay with that. He could also have had the 1/1 Death Toucher, but that's less commonly played. It's actually probably more commonly played in this deck, though, now that I think about it. But he didn't have it. Champion of Wisdom, and she's active. Well, I can silence this to make it smaller. That's pretty cool. Right? Silencing this will make it lose the +2/+2. We can potentially do some nasty things here, then. Unfortunately, we drew a depleted Sigil. Really unfortunate to draw a depleted Sigil this turn. Alright, let's just play Obelisk and pass. I could have just let him attack and then silenced his guy. I don't think he was super likely to attack there even, because he was just going to trade Champion for Sandy.
The grace of Elysium guide you.
Whereas eventually... I mean, he's not going to get better value than that, I guess. We will, though, as now we have Vault of Praxis online. And Desert Marshal can shrink his guys. We could now, like, attack, and then if he does, like, a double block, we kind of blow him out. But I don't want to risk it. He could just double block with both 6/6s, which is the right call. Though I guess it's not the right call. It puts him in an awkward space against Teleport. My opponent's definitely not playing the deck that I thought they were playing. They are just playing... I mean, I'm sure Frog Prince is in this deck as well. And that's a good silence target. Though, Surso is not fantastic against Grenadin tokens, which is always funny. You can double block it with 2 Grenadins. They turn into 2/2s that are getting +1/+1 and are able to take down Surso a lot easier. Alright, they've got Flying, which is irrelevant, but true. And we've got a Sandstorm Titan. Let's start drawing cards. And I think the Deadly's okay. Yeah, Deadly seems fine. And Assembly Line for next turn, if not Owls. Eventually we will... Oh, no, my opponent has Flyers too. Though my opponent only has 6/6 Flyers, we'll be able to make 6/6 Flyers of our own for just 4 mana. So at some point we'll want to trade off these Sandstorm Titans, have both of these guys die, And then we can actually just have better creatures in the air than our opponent. It's potentially our route to victory. Alright, Predatory, Carnosaur. Sure. I don't care enough about a vanilla 3/3. Permafrost on the Death Toucher also sounds fine. Let's make some assembly. Gonna hold on to the owls here. Who knows? I think we might be making 3 owls with it. We got a long game. I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. All that we really want to do this game is draw 2 cards every turn, and then eventually we will win with Cloud of Exhaust. I'm not sure totally what my opponent's plan is here. Oh, right. They're going to try to crystallize me. Right. So I think I want to unstun one of my guys. I think I can unstun one of my guys with Desert Marshal, right? If I play Desert Marshal, this will unlock. Pretty sure that's how it works here.
Escape me.
And then I can do like... yeah. Alright, these become 4/4 pigs. My opponent gets to trade off with one of them. I take a lot of damage here. I didn't even count it up. That was a lot of damage. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My opponent's going to have 8 attackers against me next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that not enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I can take 1. 1 damage I can take fine. Okay. Let's lead with the Great Parliament. Temple Scribe to gain me some life points. Sandstorm Titan. Though I actually can't play them, can I? I can play Temple Scribe and Grenadin Drone. Yeah, and play is different than... oh, no, it's not, is it? I'm not sure this will work. Then maybe I just need to go for the life gain plan? Alright, let's do this.
Travels round.
Sacrifice a unit. Let's sacrifice to Lear's Favor.
Travels round.
Grab a Justice Sigil. Give me my Justice. Thank you. Temple Scribe, sacrificing to Lear's Favor. Alright. So I've got 6 blockers. My opponent has... oh, God. Well, I guess I lose because I didn't get the Grenadin Drone off. I block. I chump. I eat. I eat, right? And then I chump and I chump. Oh, and even if I did play the Grenadin Drone, it wouldn't have been enough. Yeah, because that would have only given me 1 more blocker. And I don't think I could have gone double Owls plus Grenadin Drone. Yeah, so good game. I'm blocking everything, right? And I'm not double blocking anything. Am I double blocking this? No, I'm not. Alright. Good game. That was a close one. Yeah, my opponent was just playing more Crystallizes in their deck. Or whatever this is called. Yeah, Crystallizes in their deck than I was playing Cloud of Ash. I was drawing more cards than them, but unfortunately wasn't quite quick enough to get on the board. Still a sweet game, I think. And now I'm feeling pretty dumb about not just starting off by getting into Gold 3 at the beginning of the stream. For those of you that weren't here, I played like a bad deck at the beginning of the stream just to hit Primal Influence, but there's no casual mode, which is still kind of awkward. Let's redraw. Sand seems solid. We already have our Cloud of Ash. If the same shit happens last time, we'll win this one. Nope, it's an Oni Ronin deck. Of course. Oh, that was really bad. I definitely should have led with Combray Banner. Now I need to draw a Justice Sigil to play Desert Marshal turn 2. Which is just not going to happen. Okay. Well, I don't get punished for it, but the hand is still too slow. Yeah, I think the casual mode, like the fact that there's no casual mode means that like when it's time for me to do like Shadow or Primal Quest, because this is my only like top tier deck, it doesn't matter now because I'm only in silver, but at the end of the season it was getting a little bit difficult to complete some of my quests. Get to make a pretty cool block here, get to silence this guy, and then trade over here. So effective 2 for 1, but not really.
Swords, sharp and true.
Combray Healer. Alright, I guess I'll play it.
Close your eyes. Listen.
Opponent now doesn't have any good attacks, so that's good. And we're at 17, but anytime they play a weapon, this is some kind of weapon Rakano. When they play a weapon, they're going to get to draw a card. Auric Warhammer with a War Cry to draw a card and eat a Combray Healer. Well, that is quite good. Guess I will play a Sandstorm Titan. I didn't even mean to say that. I meant to say I guess we'll play an Assembly Legion, because I don't think Sandstorm Titan would be good against his board. They'd like attack, we'd block, and then they'd finish it off, which I guess is fine. Draw 2 off Katana. If they have the torch, we're dead, because they can torch our face. I think they're realizing that right now. Yeah, they're gonna torch our face. Good game, my friend. Yeah, I do think testing new decks is sweet as well. We played a few more fire cards here, and we've lost all of our ranked juice. You know what, let's play this Infiltrate deck. Let's just mix it up a little bit. I've seen some cool variations on the Infiltrate deck as well, but it was pretty powerful for some of the games we played it in. Obviously, it's not going to let us cast too many fire cards. Sand looks solid. But it is still a sweet deck. I think fire or shadow cards is our quest, actually.
Close your eyes. Listen.
I'm going to save the Levitate for the Beast Caller then.
Can you smell fear?
Usually this guy just gets silenced. No. Okay. So we're going to have to Death Strike and Levitate next turn. Let's just play Whispering Wind. I think my opponent might be feeling comfortable enough that they're just going to let it go through. Alright. They're keeping open Desert Marshal right now. No blocks. It's awkward that... Oh, I guess it's got Endurance anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Ooh, Annihilate's a good draw, though. Alright, let's go for a Death Strike. And let's hope to draw something we can cycle away off the Levitate. That'll be it. Permafrost seems pretty good, and... Are we doing it? No, we're not. We never are. That is way too much to ask for against a Combray deck to ever get in with a Beast Caller. No way, not happening. We do have 2 kill spells in our hand. I guess they have a Seek the Way, or what's that card called? Stand Together? Sure. I mean, I'm not going to get any better than this. So might as well do it. Let's get rid of Suffocate. There we go. That's what we were looking for. But we also need to find another Beast Caller. So we're not quite there. What's up, Strax? How you doing, my man? Played an Obelisk this turn. Alright, yeah, they're just going to kill me. Can, like, Annihilate and then Permafrost. Then I don't take lethal. Okay. Oh, that doesn't have a single faction. Well, I'm not going to do it on one of those other guys. That's part of the puzzle.
Lads, can you smell the fear?
Yeah. That's all we really need was to be able to chump block it.
Safe travels, friend.
So we chump block Combray Healer.
Hand over body.
Take 6, go to 1. Next turn we get a couple of 4/4s. We annihilate this, we permafrost this. We discard this. Right? No, I actually just need to chump block with Whispering Wind. Yeah, I'm going to permafrost this guy. And yeah, I need to chump block with this. Alright, so let's Haunting Scream. Get the Beast Caller. Grab 2 beasts. And permafrost. Eventually my opponent will be able to silence this guy to make it able to attack again. They could just silence it right now and kill us even. Or they could vanquish. There's about 1,000 things that they could do. That make us dead. Not close, but you know, we played a few more shadow cards. Alright. 40 fire or shadow cards. Let's jump over to this GG Devour deck. This deck was a lot of fun. Back when I was just making decks out of the cards that I was opening. It's got a Torch and an Annihilate. I guess that's good enough. Sure, I'll try it. This is like pretty much the reason I kept this hand. Against an aggro deck, I just get to do this. And then next turn, annihilate whatever their play is, assuming it's not a champion. They kept a 1 land, 1 threat hand, or accidentally hit the spacebar? They kept a hand with Oni Ronin, nothing. Jeez Louise. Alright, well, we completed our quest, and I think we won? Okay. I'll annihilate here. Jeez. Alright, well that was quite the impressive showing. I guess Annihilate Torch was actually all we needed that game. That was pretty silly. Alright, let's open this up. I had the read, eh? 3 more silver chests. That does give us enough to draft again. I believe, right? Yeah, 4,500. Let me just check my text message real quick here. Okay. Yeah, it was definitely a greedy keep for them. We've got enough to draft. It's 440, brings us to 540. Okay, let's draft. Fearless Nomad, pretty sweet. Flame Blast, pretty sweet. Twilight Raptor, also pretty sweet. Execute is quite strong. Twinning Ritual, a little bit slow. Nothing great for Combray here, as Safe Return is not really a high priority pick. So I'm leaning between Fearless Nomad, actually just Twilight Raptor. I haven't done an aggressive Feln deck in a while, or an aggressive Stone Scar deck. Well, I just grinded my teeth together. Oh, that made me feel really weird. You ever do that? The feeling of teeth on teeth is not too pleasant. Anyways, sorry for that brief interruption. Feln is pretty aggressive, though Stone Scar also kind of aggressive. Flame Blast kind of splits the difference and can win you, has a lot of reach in those late games. Twilight Raptor is just so good at what it does. Being a 1-mana 2/2 that just immediately clocks your opponent. But Flame Blast is going to be something different. Alright, let's take a Flame Blast here. See where that brings us. We can take an Oni Ronin, or there's also a Karmic Guardian and a Knife Jack. Well, we're in red. That's all we've really locked into at this point. Let's go for Oni Ronin. Stone Scar and Rakano Banner both here. So those are potential options. But let's just try to cut off red as much as we can. Warband Chieftain I think is pretty good. Crownwatch Deserter I also think is pretty good. I think I'm slightly more likely to want to play Rakano. Static Bolt and Sky Snapper also decent. And I do think that there's enough tools to make blue-red just tempo work in draft, even without multicolored cards. But let's take Crownwatch Deserter. It's just the cheaper card when in doubt. Rebel Sharpshooter, decent. Watchwing, also pretty good, but Outland Sniper I think is the best among these. It's close. Rebel Sharpshooter and Sniper are close, but I think it's a more exciting pick regardless. Strangers of Warcry doesn't really excite me. I think I'm going to go for a Stone Scar banner here. We'll see if we wind up actually playing Stone Scar. Sabotage, just okay. I guess I'm going to take Devour. Devour does work well in a Stone Scar deck. That's where you want it most often. And none of the other cards particularly excite me. Dark Wisp, good in Stone Scar. Rakano Outlaw, good in both Stone Scar and Rakano. Grenadin Drone, kind of the same thing. Grenadin Drone is a little bit better in Stone Scar than Crownwatch Longsword is in I'm sorry. So if I knew I was going to play Rakano, I'd take the longsword. If there's a chance that I'm going to play Stone Scar, which I think that there is, I think Grenadin Drone is better. I think I said it correctly that time. Heavy Axe is neat. Thorn Beast is pretty cool though. We don't have that much yet to devour, though Outland Sniper is like a reasonable card to devour even too in the late game. And a 5/5 is pretty big. I'll take a Ruin. It's cheap enough that I think Ruin is actually playable, but I'm not super excited to play it. Champion of Wisdom, way too not what we're playing at all. Crownwatch Paladin's probably the best card. When you play a spell, it becomes a 4/4. So what can we play as our spells? Not really too much, really. Let's take a Heavy Axe. Putting a Heavy Axe on an Oni Ronin is sometimes pretty sweet. Crownwatch Paladin is just meh anyways, so not too upset to pass that out. 5 mana, 5/5, Overwhelm, Charge. I think Infernus might actually be okay in this deck. Maybe I should just take Grenadin Drone. Yeah, I have a Devour and a Thorn Beast already. Let's just take Grenadin Drone. There's also a Stone Scar Stranger, but I like Grenadin Drone just a little bit more. Granite Monument is good, but Obsidian Golem is actually insane. I don't normally pass up the monuments, though I think Granite Monument is one of the weaker ones. It's still good, but... And it's good because red doesn't want too many late game cards, but Obsidian Golem is just a fantastic card, and there's not really too many ways around that. I think I'm going to take another Obsidian Golem here. I do like Blood Beetle, and I do like Blood Beetle specifically. Well, I like it in both Feln and in Stone Scar, but I think Obsidian Golem is really just a fantastic card, so I'm going to take that. Treachery is interesting. We look at their hand, take a card from it, and hit them for 2. And we get to take a unit, which taking a unit is a lot better than taking a spell. Usually. We also always get to hit them for 2. Alright, I'll try it out. Another Heavy Axe. Blast seems okay, but Heavy Axe is just a lot cheaper. Granite Acolyte is fine. Taking Grenadin I also think is fine in this deck. Zenin Destroyer is reasonable. Pilfer's just okay. Static Bolt we're probably not going to play. And Aerial Ace we're definitely not going to play. Furnace Mage I like. But I think I might just take a Reality Warden here. I think I'm coming around a little bit more to just rare drafting. Pretty much because I see this... And, like, this never progresses because I just never take the legends while I'm drafting. Do I think Furnace Mage is pretty good, though? Yeah, I do. I think Centaur Raid Leader's pretty good even, too, but... I'm going to take a legend. And nobody's going to fault me for it, obviously, but... I think it's potentially worth debating. Rapid Shot seems great. Lets our guys get in. We don't need too many Thorn Beasts, and Rapid Shot works well with, like... Zenin Destroyer and all that too. Sword of Ikaria is almost good enough that we could splash it. However, there's 2 really solid Stone Scar cards already in the pack, and Rebel Illuminator is quite fantastic. Then we can take a Torch, and nothing in this pack. I'll rare draft. Outland Sniper seems good. Scavenging Vulture also pretty decent though. Is Vulture better than Sniper? No, I don't think so. Guerrilla Fighter could be played. Knife Jack seems good. A 1-mana 2/2. A 2-mana 3/1. A second Devour. Another Camel. And that. Alright, let's cut the cards we picked up at the end there, which was Camel and Sentinel. What do we have here? Dark Return, Stone Scar Magus, Combust, Seek Power. Well, we're not going to take Seek Power. We definitely don't need Ruin. What do we want to be doing? Do we want to be combusting or do we want to be dark returning? They both seem pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got a 25 card deck already. Stone Scar Magus is a little bit expensive. I'm probably not going to play Pyre Adept, though I might just. We only have 2 Grenadin drones so far. The pick is really between Dark Return and Combust, and I think the answer is just Combust. Warhelm, pretty sweet. Otherwise, it's a back alley bouncer. We've got no real need to splash green. We've got the Crown Watch Deserter, and that's it. And I don't want to splash Feeding Helm either. Warhelm I actually like as a card. I know, yeah, I have seen a lot of Karmic Guardians. But you know what? I also kind of just want to take this Stand Together. I need another Stand Together for Constructed. I don't think anybody would really fault me for it. Alright. Let's take Stand Together. And then there's a Granite Acolyte, a Knife Jack, and an Amethyst Monument. Well, as good as I think the monuments are, I think we just want aggressive creatures. And I already took 1 card. There's also a Stone Scar banner. I don't know. Knife Jack is just so good. Being able to just dump your hand on the board. We can also just take this huge monster, which I don't think is great, but gains you a shitload of life. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going for Infernal Tyrant. You pretty much just wrath your own board in order to get at them. I think it's just Knife Jack. I think we just want the deck to be as aggressive as possible. Grenadin Drone is good, but Ranger's got to be a little bit better. Ranger's so strong. If we can help it get in there with Rapid Shot and Heavy Axe and Torch. It's just a 2-mana 4/4. Steward of the Past is good. Granite Acolyte is good. And Devour is now just okay since we already have 2 of them. I think it's going to be Granite Acolyte here. Just go for the more aggressive card. We don't have any flyers, which is a little bit awkward, but we'll make it work. Dark Wisp, Cabal Recruiter. I think Cabal Recruiter's a little bit slow. Let's just take either a Dark Wisp or a Stone Scar Stranger. Dark Wisp seems good to me. This deck would actually really like a Rally. Yeah, but this deck is like getting to a point where like it can turn 1 play a 1-drop, and then turn 2 if I draw Knife Jack, I can play it like turn 1 Oni Ronin, turn 2 Grenadin Drone, Knife Jack, or Heavy Axe, Knife Jack. And that still winds up being pretty good. I'm going to take another Obsidian Golem over Grenadin Drone. Magma Javelin and Heavy Axe. Oh, I'm going to take Rapid Shot. These are all solid cards, and it's crazy that we can see them all here. But Rapid Shot's just a little bit stronger. Sure, I'll Rare Draft. And then take a Granite Acolyte. And then take a Second Sight and a Pilfer. Alright, let's see if there's anything that we're not playing first that we might want to. Doesn't look like it. I'm not going to play any Pilfer. I'm not going to play Sporefolk. Okay. So let's cut Second Sight, let's cut Pilfer, and what are we looking at? Well, we are already looking at a deck where we want to cut more than a few cards here. We probably want to make this... Yeah, Rapid Shot was sweet. I think Heavy Axe is also pretty strong. Could cut Ticking Grenadin, but it's just damage push. Like, I actually think Ticking Grenadin is better than Treachery, believe it or not. Guerrilla Fighter, a little bit awkward, but I think still good enough. 3 Granite Acolytes? That could be pushing it. We could have Pyre Adept, though... Yeah, I guess we only have 1 Rakano Outlaw. All of our 4-drops are just damage push. It's going to make us play 15 lands, plus we want to play some lands so that the Flame Blast can be lethal. We do actually want to hit our first 3 land drops. I don't really care that much about hitting our 4th land drop, to be honest. Maybe we cut Pyre... No, but the thing is, Pyre Adept is good because we're also so aggressive. Like, sure, they might be able to trade with it, but they might also have things like Eastwind Herald, and then they've got to trade that off with Pyre Adept, and then our Grenadin drones can attack again. You can also use Combust and Grenadin drone to like get things in. Pyre Adept also kind of works well with Rapid Shot, having 3 attack. So the thing is, like, I've got to cut 2 to 5 more cards. Anywhere from 2 to 5 more cards. Maybe I cut Dark Wisp because it's not aggressive enough, or Devour because they're just not aggressive enough. I could cut 1 Devour. Devour's also a decent late game card, so I don't mind hanging on to it a little bit. We've got all these Obsidian Golems on turn 3. I was wondering where my 3 drops are. I was like, or my 2 drops. It's like, this looks like a lot of 2 drops, but at the same time, I don't see them. So yeah, let's cut the 3-1 because we've got 3 Obsidian Golems. And where does this put us? This puts us at 15 lands. Could cut 1 Outland Sniper, though Outland Sniper's probably better than Guerrilla Fighter. So this puts us at 16 lands. That's true. Heavy Axe, when I have so many Granite Acolytes, means that we're probably going to have enough for Lethrai Ranger as well. Okay, I can get behind that. Yeah, 3 Granite Acolytes. This means I can hang on to all my Acolytes here. Alright, so this is a 17 land deck. And that's as high as we need to go. A little bit heavier on the Fire Sigils for the Outland Snipers and the Grenadin drones. Makes sense. We don't have any double black requirements. And we do have a triple red. Alright. Alright. Let's give this a shot. Stone Scar. Aggro. Yeah, I like that play there, Strax. Good call. Raimundo. Well, we've got a... Nope, we've got a redraw hand. There's not much more I can say about that. Oh my god. What is this hand? This hand is so expensive. It doesn't seem that expensive. I can cast everything in it. But oh my god. Yeah, I don't love Fire and Draft either, but I was willing to give it a shot. But then when the game gives me shit like this, it's like... Oh my god. So punishing.
Take it to the sky.
Yeah, I generally stay away from the fire ones and try to go Elysian or Combray. I really like Time. I don't know what happened in this hand. These are almost every expensive card in the deck with the double Outland Sniper. That said, it might work out for us here. The deck might be too land heavy as well, just because of the very generous redraw system in the game. Get to Outland Sniper, a 2/2 flyer. It's not too shabby. And what are they going to put up against us? A Thorn Beast? Alright, well, we get to Outland Sniper, Thorn Beast then, and then next turn we'll Outland Sniper the 2/2 flyer. Short. Oh, I could have also just Granite Acolyted it, but this is fine.
Got him in my sight.
I'm not really super keen on playing the Granite Acolyte. Yeah, I think I might go to 15 sigils after this game. That said, we're going to Fire Blast them for like 10 this game, so maybe that'll be sweet.
Got him in my sights.
This guy's a little bit awkward, but it's the same thing as this, so it's not a huge deal. My opponent is still sitting on a snowball. Alright, I'll trade these off. I don't see what else I can do.
Draw, mister.
Oh, I can eat this with the Thorn Beast so that I don't have to give myself a snowball target. Alright. It's going to tap me out next turn, but assume that'll probably be okay. Let's attack first so that we don't just play this into Lightning Strike. Okay.
Your sword.
Keep hitting our land drops because we've got Flame Blast for 10. Maybe that was too safe of a play. If I had just done that, that would mean next turn we'd have lethal. Because they'd be at 17. Then we'd hit them for 9 again, put them down to 8, and then top deck a land, have lethal here. Alright, well I'm just going to Flame Blast this. Play Knife Jack, Flame Blast, smack for 9, put him down to 10. I think that's probably the right call. You draw a Torch, it's lethal against one blocker. They block this, take 7, we torch them. It's taking Grenadin is also good. Quick Shot is also good. We've got 2 Quick Shots, 1 taking Grenadin, 0 Outland Snipers, 0 Exhaust Your Blockers, 1 Granite Acolyte that might be okay. Alright, here comes the Snowball. No, it's Ice Sprite on this. Oh, we had it. We had it. Alright, let's go like this. We're 1 point off or something, right? Yeah. Thought about holding onto the torch until I realized that torching this just meant I got to get in for 4. Snowball on the Arcano, and then Chump Blocker for Thorn Beast, take 2. Good game. So if we cut a sigil, we would either put in the Guerrilla Warfighter, or a Ruin, or a Heavy Axe. Or a Guerrilla Fighter, that's what it's called. Or Pyre Adept. You can cut a land for Pyre Adept. Is Treachery better than Pyre Adept? I have no idea. Probably not. So now I could cut a land for Treachery or Heavy Axe. I mean, it was fine. I think what's awkward about this mulligan system is we're pretty much, if you play a land light deck, you pretty much auto have to redraw your first 7. So you're pretty much just getting a random hand that contains 2 to 4 power. And 2 is the sweet spot. 3 lets us cast almost every card in our deck. We've got arguably 4 cards in our deck that we can't cast with only 3 mana. Because we're probably not counting the X burn spell. We're probably not casting that for free. Hand seems great. Opponent has an Echo to start things off with, but
My talents for a price.
another Echo for my opponent as well. Alright, well, we know what we're racing. We're racing some kind of Echo card, but our opponent has definitely got the late game here. So, we don't want to give him too much time. And this is quite the start. This is quite fantastic. Obviously, it's no Oni Ronin, but it's potentially better. I mean, if my opponent is on Fate, like, my opponent could just have a Snowball or two in hand. It might not necessarily be an Echo. Second Sight, okay. I appreciate that, MF32. I think this is going to be a little bit slow for you, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I'd love to draw a 2-drop. Depleted unless you have a unit. I'd love to activate this Thorn Beast. Alright, I'm going to. My opponent pretty much showed that they don't have a removal spell there, nor do they have anything worth casting. I think they're just going to play a 2-1 flyer here. Yeah. Alright, so I can torch that, or I can just play an Obsidian Armor and a Ticking Grenadin, smash for 9. This seems better. I'll just torch their double block and make life difficult for them. Alright, so Time Sigil. I think we're going to see a double block on Knifejack. No, Nesting Avasaur. Well, that means a double block is going to happen on the Thorn Beast. What's tricky is we already have lethal, right? We smack, we hit them for 5. Post-combat, we're going to combust. And then torch. Good game, my friend. Oh, to kill an enemy unit? Oh shit, I don't have lethal. So it's fine. I need to combust my own Knifejack here, which unfortunately the game doesn't let me do. So I will wait for them to play a unit, combust on that.
I see them.
Tower Trap Patrol and a 0-mana Static Bolt here. That's good. Good game. We will combust and torch. That was a pretty silly lethal. I almost got distracted by drawing the Dark Wisp, or whatever that card's called, that I combusted that instead. But yeah, I did need to sacrifice the Ticking Grenade, and that was how I was getting in 3 damage. I guess my opponent didn't really have any option there. Like, I could have just attacked, and then what do? Block? His hand is a little bit slow without a 1-drop. We are on the draw. It's got Rapid Shot, Pyre Adept. It's got a lot of lands in it. Let's redraw. I think we can get better than this. We're going to hit an Obsidian Golem almost regardless with how many we have. And this just lets us play a 1-drop creature. It doesn't let us play a 2-drop. Alright, our opponent has an Echo here for us. I guess it's a Thunderstrike Dragon. Or it is the card that makes creatures cost 1 more. Oh, it could be a Fade as well. We could be seeing a Snowball here. No, it is just a 3-color deck. Do we want to attack in and then devour? I think not. Can eventually Outland Sniper this or this. I'll go for a double block, I think. I also have so many Granite Acolytes. Alright, I'm gonna go like this. Those are pretty good draws. I have so many... Look at this weapons factory we got over here.
Your sword.
I think my opponent might trade for this. I don't know if I really care. Cool. That means we get to trade here unless they pump their strangers. And then we get to Outland Sniper one of the flyers. And if that's how my opponent thinks they're winning, they're mistaken. Wow, okay. So if I just attack all out, my opponent will take 3. Or they'll take 2, and then they'll trade their Stone Scar Magus for the 3-1 and the 2-1. That's fine. That card's just annoying. Gotta get it out of here. You know what? Let's do like this. Now if my opponent... I don't know what they'd have to play, because Outland Sniper... Another Stone Scar Magus, wowie. So now they're going to trade with Stone Scar Magus, shrink this. And then we'll try to do a similar thing post-combat. Alright. Don't know what else we can do. Stone Scar Magus is just really good against us. All of our creatures are 2/2s. We are still hitting my opponent for damage. And they stopped hitting us. Obsidian Golem, Acolyte, and I don't know where this Acolyte trigger's going. Let's go here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Alright. Torch. What does Torch do for us? Torch lets us kill the other flyer. Torch also lets us kill this 2/1 for less efficient mana, and then Smack for 9. So I'm thinking like this, or sorry, Smack for 8. Trade a Sauropod for an Acolyte. Trade a 5 mana card for a 3 mana card. Twinning Ritual probably on the Hatchlings now that my opponent is feeling a little bit far behind. No, they're going to play Felon Stranger. That means they copied a Sauropod. If I Obsidian Armor here, this guy trades 2 for 1. And then I get another Obsidian Armor back. Pretty much just trying to pressure my opponent as much as I can here. Yeah, we hit him for 2. Pressure their life points as much as we can so that when we start drawing burn spells in the upcoming turns, their life total's as low as we can make it. So like here, if they play a Sauropod, I might even be tempted to put my Obsidian Armor on the Granite Acolyte, just so that we divide our damage, hit them for 3 down to 9. That means they're at 7, which means when we draw... Yeah, that means it's only like 1 point of burn away. What we'd really like to draw would just be like quick shot. That's not bad either. That means that we can use Outland Sniper to finish it off regardless of which creature it blocks. Means I guess I should put the armor on the Acolyte, because it'll push through more damage. The problem is the armor on the Acolyte will mean that we're getting less damage in next turn. But I think that's just what we have to do. I think there's a chance that they will block the lifelinker, though. Yeah. Alright, so they're at 8. So we can put them down to 6. But I think we're best off just doing like this. Now, we need to draw the fire mana, but our burn spell is lethal. Or we can just draw... Holy shit. Alright, quick draw. Quick draw. Fuck, that wasn't the quick draw I needed. They're just going to play sewer pods from here on out. I think we just got to put them to 6. That's an insane card. Alright, they're at 6 and they've stabilized. We now have 26 life points to chump block with. So we can take a little bit less than 26 points worth of damage. My opponent can't attack here. I'll hang on to this for a second. Warcry doesn't get us anywhere. We already played our Devour earlier this game. This was a really slow game. Mystic Ascendant. Mystic Ascendant is a tough one to beat. And it also kind of explains how you wind up in 3 colors. Alright, Sauropod. At this point, with a hatchling, we're going to take 8. Not super willingly, but there's just not much we can do. Alright, Rebel Illuminator, that's a piece to the puzzle. Rebel Illuminator can chump block, and actually Rebel Illuminator can kind of gang block too. If we really wanted to take out this Ascendant, we could. However, we've got a Ticking Grenadin in the deck that's going to be lethal. Quick Draw is no longer lethal. But yeah, we could triple block Mystic Ascendant to take it down. I don't think we win the game like that. I think we are more likely to win the game just with a single block here. But our opponent at an effective 3 life points if they cannot silence Rebel Illuminator.
What have we here?
What? Alright, well now I can't attack if I want to win.
Die with honor.
Oh man, Reliquary Raider too? We've actually got some good gang blocks now, which survive us a few turns. Come on, Flame Blast. What else do we have? I think it's just Flame Blast. Ticking Grenadin is also reasonable, but it's going to be hard because our opponent's not going to let us activate this Rebel Illuminator. Eventually, they're just going to start swinging in the air, but that gives us 9 turns. They're definitely afraid to attack into Rebel Illuminator here because they think we've got... they think we've got another card or another torch or something in our hand. Now they can start attacking for 3, which is a 6-turn clock. The fact that they played the Deadly Wasp means that they certainly want to start attacking soon. Alright. An Empower trigger. A Seek Power, which will draw them another card for free next turn. But for this turn, we've got some Reprieve, potentially. And my opponent also has 2 other cards in their hand. They didn't play a land last turn, so I don't know what else. They might not have played a land the past 2 turns, so they have 2 actual cards in their hand. Backlash would be fucking killer. Really hope no Backlash, Areno. Channel the Tempest for 6. Oh, God. I'm on a 3-turn clock here now, or 4-turn clock with the Flyers. Come on, Power Surge. Fire Sigil. My opponent is going to all-out attack me pretty soon. Another Echo card. Jeez Louise. Alright, let's start by playing a Sigil. I mean, I have to chump block everything if my opponent all-out attacks here. I've got to chump block everything and draw a Ticking Grenadin 2 turns ago.
You aren't welcome here.
Frostkin means that, oh, the Rebel Illuminator. And then Oni Ronin. So they're going to get through for 10 on the ground. 3 in the air. I can block Mystic Ascendant. I can block this guy, but yeah, I take 13. And with them drawing 38 cards last turn, maybe there was no way I could hope to get through this game, but we tried. Maybe a little land light again, or land heavy again. We're really close, though. Our opponent's deck just had some more powerful cards in it than ours did, and we also had a super slow draw on the draw. Let's take a look at it. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I could cut a Fire Sigil or a Shadow Sigil. Maybe cutting a Shadow Sigil is better. And putting in Guerrilla Fighter? Nah. I would probably put in... Devour would have been okay that game. Treachery? I don't think so, though. I think I'm just going to play... Because what is this? This is 17 lands. 17 lands is still pretty light. Ah, fuck it. Alrighty. We're only 1-1 here. These games have just started. But I think the deck being a little bit more aggressive could warrant 16 lands. 16 is like the lowest I've ever played. This is still a shitload of lands, but this hand's fantastic. So I'm going to keep it. It's got the best 1-drop, followed by potentially the best 2-drop, not super sure. And then Outland Sniper to try to send it in. Plus it's on the play, so all of that in conjunction seems really good. It's got perfect mana. The fact that it already has perfect mana means that... Well, I guess it's actually not quite perfect. I would rather have 1 Shadow Sigil and 3 Fire Sigils, but other than that, it's pretty much perfect, and we're not super likely to draw more lands, is the other thing. Because we've cut them and we've already got them. That's kind of how the redraw system is good in Eternal. Is you can kind of play land light, and if you hit the lands, then you wind up being decent through the rest of it. So, again, my opponent's definitely going to snap off a block on the Ranger here. So I kind of want to use Outland Sniper. If they just don't have a turn 3 play, we're kind of doing it. If they have a turn 3 play, then they're going to block, and we lost 2 points of damage here, but... Now if they play a 3-3, though, we can snipe it. If they just play a 2-2... Oh, Bright Mace Paladin, okay. So... We can attack with this. If they block, I'm going to eat it with Sniper. Yeah, they didn't. I meant to say if they don't, I'm going to eat it with Thorn Beast. This gives us a 7/7, which is a pretty big monster. Hopefully 7/7's enough to get us by here. There's a lot of powerful things Comebreak can do to stop an aggressive deck, though. Like having a 6/6 lifelinker. I'd love to use Rapid Shot. It's probably just not going to happen. And if I attack with Thorn Beast, they just gain the life points right back. If I attack with both of them, maybe they think something's up. They might also just have a Primal Strength as well. Alright, they just let me get in. That's sweet. I'm going to put them down to 8. If they attack, that means that if they attack, then that means that the guy is no longer on defense. So they gain back most of their life points here, but now their guy's exhausted, and I am looking to crash in for 13. So I'm attacking for 13. If they block the Sniper, they lose. Good game, right? Yeah. Alright, that was a really quick one. Boom! Take 11. That was pretty masterful. That poor opponent. I mean, he made a 6/6 lifelink. And the game wasn't even close. Yeah, he had to keep his lifelink guy back on defense. The problem with that was I was representing Quickshot, but he didn't realize that the play that he made, just like myself earlier, I was trying to... Quickshot is just so hard to play around. It's just such a good rate. 1 mana for like an 11 damage burn spell in that case on a creature. 4 damage to the face only, but... That game, it would have been 11 damage to a creature. It's really tough to play around, and a lot of times you put yourselves in positions where you're like, all right, I'm going to play around Quick Shot, and then you're just dead to Quick Shot. I mean, that exact same thing happened against me earlier, so can't really fault my opponent there. Turn 1, Knife Jack. Turn 2, only a Ticking Grenadin, but a turn 3 Zenon Destroyer. I'll keep it. We're on the play. It's a little bit expensive, potentially, but... Turn 1 Knife Jack's always good. My opponent needs to block with an Oni Ronin to stop it. Or double Ticking Grenadin. Ticking Grenadin would be insane. Or Grenadin Drone, I meant. Shit. Alright, well, that's pretty good. Do I offer this trade? I guess I do because I've got Zenon Destroyer in my hand. So I guess I just need to offer the trade, unfortunately. My opponent could potentially have better things that they want to do with these Grenadins. Yeah, I'm not blowing them out here. Just playing a Ticking Grenadin. And now I'm kind of winning. I've taken 2 damage, my opponent's taken 3. And it is a Stone Scar Mirror. Here we have a Stone Scar Stranger. Well, hopefully Torch can blow them out and let the Zenon Destroyer get in. We'll save this guy for Devour and for our Thorn Beast. But yeah, hopefully they just play another Stranger here, and I can Torch to get it through. Part of the cool thing about Reckless is that it represents you not having a trick, because it's like, well, nothing I can do. This guy's got to attack. I like sometimes playing in Paper Magic where I'll be like, oh wait, this card has attack each turn if able, and then you just send it sideways. And then your opponent obviously makes the block that you want them to. Let's Torch that guy here. We get to trade Torch for 4 points of damage. Got a Flame Blast next turn, which I'd rather not cast, but maybe we'll have to.
Here is what was.
Alright, well if I draw a Sigil, that shit's getting Flame Blasted. Oh, I can't! Ah, poop. Alright. We'll swing.
Like a knife of flame.
That's quite poopy. My opponent opponent at 20 life points still. Quite a high life total. I don't think we're going to get there this game. Opponent had the turn 1 drop. Opponent had a pretty good curve. They didn't play a 3 drop, but they played a 1, 2, and 4 drop. And on turn 3 they cycled.
Brace yourself.
Can't really block while Steward of the Past is out there, because he turns off our Entombs.
Your sword,
I'm pretty sure we don't get our Entomb here, which is pretty lame. Oh, but we do get in for 5? Wow, okay. Seems like a definite chance here if I get in for 5. Yeah, I mean, I'll make this trade. I don't think this is a good attack for my opponent. Why would I even want to make this trade? Like, I could just... What happens if I swing all out next turn? Oh, they'll just block this. Whatever. I kind of don't want to make the trade because I want to Flame Blast this. Oh, they have an Execute for the Torch guy. That's why. So they stay at 15. I'm going to need to draw a lot more cards to kill my opponent from 15. No bucks. Huh. If I swing out, I might be able to hit my opponent for 6 here. That puts them down to 9. Is now the time to do that? Nine looks like it's one off, but this Ticking Grenadin has been turned off completely. So this Ticking Grenadin just doesn't work. I'm also getting 3 for 1s, but like if I swing all out, my opponent's going to block this. Oh, this won't die. So I only lose 1 guy. Alright. Stranger's not going to trade here. Yeah, they're going to kill the Ticking Grenadin, so that's gone. I'm going to hit my opponent for 6. They go down to 9. That means all I have to do is draw... Or I already drew my Torch. That means I just need to draw 4 more Sigils. Oh, if this is their attacks, a quick draw would be great again.
Like a knife.
Rebel Illuminator again. Outland Sniper's kind of interesting. We're just playing defense now. I need to draw 4 more Sigils. Oh, wait. I only need to draw 2 more Sigils if I snipe their face. Okay, 2 more Sigils. Let's go Runner, Sigil next 2 turns. Runner, Sigil. One of them has to be fire. But almost all of our Sigils left are fire. Wait, these attacks are great for me. Yeah, you don't attack with Stone Scar Magus. I wish that they would. They get to hit me for 5 and then 5. That's not enough damage. Okay, we're doing okay here. They get to hit me for 5 and then 5 if they want to torch this. And they have to torch this to swing with Stone Scar. Okay, runner, sigil. We have 3 turns to draw 2 sigils. Oh, this is a really close game. Torch it right now. Sounds good. Let's get an Obsidian Golem. Actually, I don't want an Obsidian Golem. I don't know what the hell I want. Alright, they've got 7, 7, and 7. I've got a blocker. I needed to draw a sigil. Now I'm going to take 5, 5, and 5. They can't attack with this again. They're going to, though. No, they shouldn't. Oh, they also can't attack with this because they can't attack all out. Oh, that's really interesting. Alright, let's block here. I'm going to go down to 14. Then I have 2 turns to draw 2 sigils. Let's do it. Devour. Oh, man, that would have been so good. Devour can buy me a turn if I draw a creature next turn, though. So I'm going to go down to 9, then I'm going to go down to 4. I'm still in this. Grenadin Drone, the perfect draw. It's a chump blocker and a Devourer. And it means my opponent can't even attack me. Yeah, no blocks. My opponent can't attack with this because we almost have lethal. Alright, Dark Wisp means that I'm going to have no good attacks. Let's just Devour now. That's fine. Draw 2 sigils. Stone Scar Banner, Heavy Axe. Sure. Granite Acolyte. Sure. Alright. All we have to do is draw 1 more sigil. Should not be hard. I don't know in what capacity I have to play these creatures here. This just allows me to block Dark Wisp. I don't even want to block Dark Wisp. I think I won't. I think I'm just making some creatures. Dark Wisp can't even attack. What am I saying? Yeah, there's no way Dark Wisp can attack. So I go down to 7 here. I need to draw a sigil.
Choose your side.
And that's good game. Found the line. Good game, Andrew. 689. That was a sweet one. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/NoLuxGiven. Also, feel free to check out the other videos on my channel. I post full VODs of all of my streams every day, as well as highlight videos like this one and other sweet gameplay content. Thanks for watching. Peace! And if you're watching on stream, I'm still sticking around to finish out this Drafterino here. Just like to edit while I'm streaming, kind of streamlines the whole process. But that was a sweet one. Whew! I like stopped breathing at the end there, I'm pretty sure. But that was sweet. And this is exactly the hand that I was talking about where Knife Jack is insane. I think this is the exact hand I called out. Turn 1, Oni Ronin. Turn 2, Grenadin Drone. Knife Jack. That's pretty freaking good. Unfortunately, we're on the draw here. I'm going to lead with Oni Ronin. It's still the best 1-drop. I think we're going to wind up playing Rakano Outlaw turn 2. Just because getting in those War Cries as soon as possible is always good. Hopefully my opponent doesn't play a time mana here. That's really going to give me some trepidations about attacking. But hopefully they don't. Alright. Shadow mana. And what do we have? A Stranger? A Borderlands Waykeeper. Alright. Kind of punish. Not really. Nah, that's not really a punish. Because it's not like we were going to attack into that with Knife Jack anyways. So let's just play this out. Let's play Rakano Outlaw. And we'll figure out how we're going to deal with this Waykeeper in the future.
A small.
Amethyst Acolyte's going to kill our Oni Ronin. They could also turn our Rakano Outlaw into a 1-1. That wouldn't actually be the craziest thing, and I think that is actually what we're going to see here. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. This is not the best draw. When our opponents curve out as well against our aggro deck, never feels too great. Alright, let's play some more monsters. I don't really see the point of Flame Blasting. I don't want to Flame Blast just to kill this Aegis trigger, but I don't know if we're going to have to. It's about to be a 2-3 flyer. Not that that even changes anything either, though. At some point, once... Yeah, like... They'll start attacking with that. Once our opponent is attacking us, then
Like a knife in flame.
we can just start hitting them back for more. But the awkward part is we do lose guys to this Borderlands Waykeeper. This Scaly Gruon of sorts with Aegis. If it was a Scaly Gruon, I'd just be able to Flame Blast it. But it is not. We've got a bunch of those 4-mana 2/2s for their Sky Snappers, so hopefully we can just take those out with those. Alright, they're not going to let us do that. Well, I kind of want to torch this here, too. What happens if I swing? I get a bunch of torches to clear the way. We can do something. Like, we've got a lot of torches. We just don't have to be... Just be smart about this. I think we can win the long game. There's also the option of just, like, swing out on best blocks. The thing is, I just don't like swinging out into a creature that I know has to attack me next turn. But can we race it? They'll kill us in 4 turns. We want to hit all of our land drops. They'll kill us in 4 turns. We get to swing. They'll trade here. They'll eat this. They'll take 5. Alright, let's go for this plan. If we ever decide that we need to pivot, we can kill their flyers if we really need to. It's actually a quicker clock than we thought it is, because at the end they can activate Borderlands Waykeeper to finish us off.
Make your move, sweet.
Oh, that card clearly just needs to get torched. There's the Outland Sniper. Alright, let's swing out. Right? Yeah. So we're hitting them for 5 here. Then we get to go Outland Sniper on the Snapper. Yeah, they're going to block pretty much how we thought they would, except they're going to take an additional 1 damage than we thought that they might from the Oni Ronin. I get to grab a torch. I'm not going to use it here, though. Let's just do this. It stops a lot of their attacks. At the very least, we always get to attack with Knife Jack and Outland Sniper. So we always get to smash for 2. And then we've got Torch and Flame Blast on the top of the curve here. Get to get hit from this a few more times. Dark Return on the other Snapper. That's going to be a Torch target. No, on Amethyst Acolyte. Alright. They're going to go for the safer play here then.
A small incision.
Sure. So then I guess I torch this so that I can keep attacking. Alrighty. Let's get in there. They can eat a drone and take 5. We need to be cognizant about the ability of this card to activate and turn on us, but I don't think that's going to happen until the very last turn. card can also just activate so that they have better blocks, too. That's also really bad for us. 5, Dark Wisp. Alright. Well, if they get in with Dark Wisp, like, if they activate and then turn on Dark Wisp, this is lethal. I think we can kill them, though. And I don't think we have much of a choice. So what happens if they just don't block with Dark Wisp? They block here. They take 6. So I kind of need to keep this Grenadin drone back. There's no way they're going to see that line, right? They're going to have to block with their Dark Wisp. Is this 1 damage relevant? Maybe it's just not relevant. This 1 point of damage. They eat it. It's almost 2 points of damage, though. I think they're going to double block with Dark Wisp. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think this is the attack we have to make. Okay, that's what I thought they were going to do. Go for the double block. That means they take 6 here. Oh, they also get to block with this. I didn't even realize that. I will kill off Dark Wisp. So they only take 4 damage here. Means next turn they're going to take 3. We need to draw another power. Same thing as last game. Need them to play nothing. Suffocate my Wisp, okay. That means I get another free draw. It's a Sigil and a Dark Wisp. Rapid Shot's lethal, but I don't think it's going to work. Good game. I can't draw any more torches. Oh, I do still have my Grenadin. What can I draw? Draw Outland Sniper. Do I want to just stall the game out? Hope to draw better than them? I forgot I got to keep the Grenadin. This is the best card in my deck. Not close. But I have to use it. That really pained me. To kill a creature that I let sit there for 7 turns, only to eventually kill it and then have them top deck something better. They definitely should have attacked with the Dark Wisp that turn. Now they have Miss Lethal. But they might have a kill spell in their hand. I played my Sigil. If they got me, they got me. Nope, they're going to play a Horn Snatcher Bat now that they finally hit 6 lands. Put me down to 1. And there's nothing we can draw here. Obsidian Golem. Good game. Well played. Oh, that was a close one. That was a real close one. Funny how we got like in the same situation with Flame Blast. That's kind of what that card does, though. Like, at some point you're like, all right, all hope is lost. I just need to draw 5 more lands and then put a burn spell at my opponent's face. Yeah, I don't think I would have won if I just killed the Sky Snapper so that it couldn't block one of those turns. My opponent going and getting the Acolyte back was a really good play by them. Can't keep this. My opponent's going to redraw. I'm going to redraw. And have a pretty slow one here. No 1-drops again in the opening hand. Combust is pretty good. And we do have a Treachery on turn 2 to kind of clear the way. So hopefully we'll be able to take one of their big Elysian monsters. Twinning Ritual. Alright, well. Oh, they did have an Echo? Shit. Man, this hand was so much better on the play that I guess I would have been able to Echo off regardless. Treachery, I can take one of their hatchlings, or I can take a Terrazon. I'm going to take Terrazon because I can kill hatchling with sniper and torch and things like that. It's going to get it. Grenadin drone? No, not quite. Sure, I'm going to play a 3-3. I'm going to play a nesting Avasaur. Oh, God, that's so bad. Would gladly trade nesting Avasaur for Ravenous Thorn Beast here. Opponent gets to play a bunch of flyers this turn. Yeah, so Seek Power. I guess they'll just play a full cost guy and a cheapened guy. Well, hold on now. 5 plus 11. We are very, very close to doing it. If my opponent doesn't block again next turn, they're dead. Initiative of the Sands. Fuck you, Initiative of the Sands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to clear one of their guys. Or I'm dead. That might be good for me. Is there any way where I can also ensure lethal on this turn? I don't think I can. So I'm going to combust one of their guys by sacrificing Granite Acolyte. So let's just go like this. Oh shit, they can trade with this now. They won't, because they've got lethal in the air. They've got a Lightning Strike. Teleport on the Outland Sniper. Well, I'm glad I didn't Rapid Shot into that. But 3 damage might be okay. Sure, we put them down to 12 now. And I'm going to combust here so that they don't have lethal. Now all they have to do is chump block this. Oh, they're going to swing all out? I go to 2. They're going to play a hatchling. Are they going to chump block here? Please don't. Please don't. Come on, one time. Fuck. I lose, right? I can devour. Devour's not even good. It gains me back the life that this would now deal to me. So I can just snipe something. Yeah, I needed them to not block.
Got him in my sight.
That was super close. And I think that was the only way I was winning that one. It was a tough one. I think that puts us 4-3. Yes, it does. All right, so that'll be the end of this draft here. But you know what? We did still have a pretty sweet game or two here. Oh, we got a crystal chest. So, not too shabby. We also have 3 more booster packs to show for it. Somebody was asking me on YouTube. I did not have a second torch in the deck, no. Only the 1 torch. Import deck from last draft, and here it was. Yeah, there was 1 torch, 1 flame blast, but that wouldn't have been good enough. If I devoured, I would have gone up to 4. So, like, you deal damage, then devour. Well, maybe I could have done that. I could have devoured post-combat. That would have put me up to 4 only, though. And then I would have had 2 to 3 mana. If I can double torch, I can kill both of their Sky Guys. Yeah, I guess that could have kept me alive if there was a second torch in the deck. But there was not. Yeah, that would have done it. Devour post-combat and draw a Sigil plus a Flame Blast. Alright, there was still an out. I guess I should have gone for it. Pretty... it's not that unlikely. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that still could have potentially worked then. You're right, Sandwells. Yeah, I mean, he did have nothing at that point. He had maybe 1 card in hand. But... not too much. All right, let's open up these packs here to end the stream. Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I didn't even think about that as an out. I mean, I was kind of just on the plan of, like, trying to, like, surprise burst them with 11 points of burst damage, which didn't quite work out. Same time, I wonder if there was another time that I could have just played my cards. We also did get another... Where's that? I got another Stand Together from that draft. So that means I can finally cut Arcana Minotaur and add in the 4th Stand Together to this deck here. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, that is going to be it for me for the stream today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm not sure 100% if I'm going to be streaming the next 2 days, and if I am, that it's going to be Eternal. I might try to stream some Magic the Gathering. You can see in the image below the stream that there is a new Collected Company Vizier deck that I really want to try out. It's tough to play the deck on Magic Online, though, so I'm not totally sure I'm going to play it, but I might just make, like, a video of it and throw that on the YouTube, because I think that that is a pretty cool deck, and I'm going to be playing that at my LGS has Wednesday Modern, so I'm going to be playing that at my Wednesday night Modern event now. Thank you very much, Archon. I appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the stream, feel free to hit that follow button and check out my YouTube channel. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you had fun. Hope I will see you around. That's it for me. Peace.